You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network, and it starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Carolina Forest Panther football right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network, as it is the final game of the regular season. The Panthers travel down to Murrells Inlet and take on the St. James Sharks here at Shark Stadium. I'm Brandon Biskobing. I will be bringing you all the action. This is the Tony McAfee State Farm pregame show. Joining me as usual is Preston Payne. And before we get into this game, before we get into the playoff implications and all of that, let's just talk about the chaos, the craziness that happened last week. And not only that, but let's just give a shout out to Luke Janik, who had an absolutely incredible game last week. He rushed for 281 yards and 5 touchdowns on 21 carries, while also getting 14 tackles on defense. What a game for Luke Janik. We've been talking about it all season that the Panthers need to start using him more, and when they do, good things happen.
Right, and that's kind of one of those things where why even go to Khalil Johnson sometimes? Because I understand the fire and ice that we've talked about all season, but when Luke Janik is running the ball like he did against Sockesty, why even take him out? And I get the breathers and stuff like that, and that probably does play a factor into it. But with how well Luke Janik runs the ball, I don't see why you go away from him in this game or at all in playoffs.
Moving forward into the playoffs, yeah.
And as I tweeted out on Ian, when Ian tweeted out that stat line, official owner of Sockesty football.
Really. But, I mean, to be fair, just to play devil's advocate here real quick, for one, Khalil Johnson has been playing great. Maybe not quite as good later on in the season as he did in the beginning of the season against the likes of West Brunswick and New Hanover, but he has played well this season, and with Luke Janik being used a lot more on the defensive side this season than he did last year, that's one of the reasons why they're not using him nearly as much this season. But, yeah, an incredible win for the Panthers, winning it on a walk-off touchdown by Luke Janik with no time left on the clock. It was the second extended gameplay that they had. They had 2 extra chances to score, and they did do it. And that leads us into this game, which is very important for both of these teams when it comes to playoffs. Even more important for the Sharks tonight, but still important for the Panthers. St. James win, and they're in, and they get home field advantage in the first round. Lose, and you're out of the playoffs.
Is it any more? And we were going through before we went on air. Yeah. It seems a lot more complicated than it kind of is.
Really is,
because of where the point differential is kind of spread out between the 3 teams. Assuming that Carolina Forest wins tonight, the Conway, Sockesty, and St. James would all be 1-3 in region. But because of point differential and then the tiebreaker, St. James would be out.
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to. And for Carolina Forest, this is also a big matchup because to keep kind of the status quo in line, Carolina Forest needs to win to get home field advantage in the first round next week as well.
Yeah.
So this is a big game for both sides, more so for St. James because their playoff spot is still on the line. However, Carolina Forest is also in a big situation this week as well.
Yeah, but I would definitely have to say that St. James is a team that has more to gain and lose in this game than the Panthers do, because if the Panthers lose, they're still the 3 seed. They still get in. Yes, they then have to travel out to either Lexington or Chapman. We'll talk about the matchups in just a little bit. But, they're still in the playoffs. It's not like you lose and then you're out of the playoffs. So the reason why St. James is in the position that they're in is because with a loss tonight, presuming that Conway loses as well tonight against Sumter, which, let's be honest, that more than likely is going to happen with how Sumter has been playing this season. Socastee is at -2 in region in the point differential. Conway is at -9, and St. James is at -39. And the cutoff for Region 6 5A is 24 points. They've capped it at 24 points. So even if Conway loses by 40 and St. James only loses by 1, it still wouldn't matter because Conway would only lose those 24 points.
Right. And that's kind of one of those minute details that you don't always get to explain with how the region has been, because we've always said St. James being the cellar dweller.
But it's so weird how we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when St. James. Now, granted, it was the first set of the double round robin, but when St. James, was able to beat Socastee in their first matchup between these two teams. Or between those two teams, rather, when they beat Socastee in that huge comeback victory week 3, to get some momentum to start off the season, and then they've just plummeted ever since. It looked like they had a chance to finally get into the playoffs, which they haven't done since 2015. But unless they need to win this game in order for that to happen. Like we mentioned, this game, Region 6 is attached with Region 5 in the playoffs this season. So we will be keeping an eye on the Lexington and Chapin game, which no matter what happens in this game, Carolina Forest will be facing one of those two teams. If the Panthers win tonight, they'll be the 2 seed. And go and have the loser of that game travel to Carolina Forest. But if the Panthers lose, they have to travel to the winner of that matchup. So we'll have all the updates of that game as well throughout the night. Other matchups in Region 6 5A, the winner of River Bluff against White Knoll tonight will play at Sumter. Either Socastee or Conway, depending upon what happens here in this game, will travel to Dutch Fork, which I think we can both agree is basically them just traveling 2.5 hours just to get slaughtered.
I don't even know that I would want to play that game, to be honest with you, just to go 2.5 hours just to lose by 50.
And then either Carolina Forest, St. James, or Conway, depending upon all the different scenarios, will face off against the the winner, rather, of Lexington and Chapin. So lots of different storylines, or a lot of different scenarios to keep an eye on tonight, as I believe they are doing senior night festivities here at St. James. We're about 6 minutes away from kickoff. And now let's finally get into this game. And another quick stat line that is still, and it really exemplifies how this season has gone. With the exception of and if it wasn't for Carolina Forest getting COVID in that week and losing the game against Socastee, it would have probably stayed back to back. Yep. They have gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss throughout the entire season, with the exception of the Sumter game and then the Conway game, losing both of those games. So it's been two split by the open week. It's been 2-2 seasons for the Panthers, and it's really shown how
mediocre. Okay. But down. I'm using the term mediocre as its literal definition because it's literally midway, and it's kind of weird because it almost exemplifies the first half and the second half. Kind of exemplify what we thought was going to happen. Like you have your first set where it's kind of like split because you were playing Fort Dorchester and Sumter. Yeah, and then you assume the West Brunswick and New Hanover games were the ones who were going to win.
Be the wins,
right?
Yeah.
So then you have The only ones that is the outlier is the loss to Conway that started the second half of this little statistical thing that we have going on here.
But then they came right back after the bye week and beat them,
Conway. So it kind of is what it is. And like I've said it time and time again, that Conway loss was the only one that I went into the game thinking, all right, we're gonna win. We should win this game.
Yeah, we should win this game, and
because
we
the
lost.
other losses are the 2 to Sumter and the Fort Dorchester.
Yeah.
Fort Dorchester, the number 2 team in the state,
Yeah.
and then Sumter, the best team in the region.
Yeah.
It just kind of is what it is at that point.
As the teams are going out to the center of the field for the coin toss, just a few minutes away from kickoff here. But, yeah, and it's really exemplified how this season has gone. Let's talk about this game real quick before it gets underway. This is a game that, looking at it on paper, looking at history, Panthers are on a 7-game winning streak against St. James. St. James, we've talked about it. They've been the perennial cellar dwellers of Region 6-5A. But this year with the Panthers, you never know. You never know what team you're going to get. I would have to say more than likely the Panthers should win this game.
Yeah.
But it's all depending upon how they play.
Right, and it's kind of what we've said all season. And defense, defense. And it's almost like you're waiting for the defense to step up and play a complete game, almost like the New Hanover game, but against an actual opponent that you think that was good. Not saying St. James is like the best in the region or whatever, but I'm saying like a region opponent that we don't have to go to North Carolina to beat in a shutout game. That's kind of where I'm heading with that, because it almost feels like we don't quite know where we're at still. Even though we beat Socastee, we only won by 2. So it's just one of those things where you don't quite know where this team's at right now.
Exactly. Like if we would have beaten Socastee by 20 or 30, then it would have been like, okay, this team is starting to build back to where they were. But having to win on a walk-off touchdown after giving up a touchdown to lose the lead with less than a minute left to go in the game.
Shoot, it was less than 30 seconds. It was 20. There was 29.5 seconds on the clock.
Well, no, when the touchdown happened, it was like 40 seconds. It was about 28 seconds after the kickoff.
Yeah.
So
it'll be big. This game is big.
Yeah.
And even though this game might be the most important of the season, we have a press box little issue here.
Yeah. We're gonna have a bit of an issue. And hey, I've been saying off the air, this is what you want to do. You want to get into the business, and so you gotta get your reps in.
Right.
So because of how the windows are here in the press box, I can really only see about half of the field, so can you.
Right.
So one side of the field, I'll be doing the play-by-play. The other side, Preston will be doing the play-by-play. So if it's weird and wonky and it seems like one person's taking over at random times, that's why tonight.
Right. That should be mentioned that it's split half and half, just because if one person takes over, then you can just say, okay, we're across that field now.
Yeah, we're across.
And either depending on which way the teams are going, that's kind of a differentiator.
Yeah. Both teams are taking the field as we are 40 seconds away from kickoff. I believe I couldn't hear. I tried to pull off my my one earphone to hear, but I believe the Panthers won the toss and elected to receive. So the Panthers will get the ball to start off the game.
And before we get started, the powder blue St. James unis are kind of nice. I really do like them, and their helmets are pretty nice too. If only St. James has been as good as their jerseys the past 6 years. And that's what we've talked about, the cellar dwellers in Region 6-5A. Yeah. And this is St. James' chance to be like, hey, we are no longer them. We are no longer those teams of the past where we sit in the 5 seed and just stay there.
Yeah, more often than not, this time of year, St. James would be trying to play spoiler to someone,
Right.
trying to stop them from having home field advantage in the first round or something like that. More often than not, Carolina Forest, because they always seem to play at the end, the last game of the season. But this time, not only can they play spoiler to Carolina Forest getting home field advantage in the first round, but they can also get home field advantage themselves if they are able to win this game, as the Panthers are getting ready to receive the kickoff. I'm going to let you take the kickoff because I cannot see
All right.
where the I cannot see the kicker from where I am.
Yep. And they are off, and it is going to be a kick through the back of the end zone, and the Carolina Forest Panthers will start at the 25-yard line.
Yep, so Panthers will start at the 25-yard line, moving right to left.
So we'll have a few. Hopefully, there's no plays where I have to call any plays because it's a one-play Luke Janik run.
Well, I'm still gonna lose it for half of the field.
I'll pick you up.
You're gonna have to keep an eye on it.
This is gonna be
But
interesting.
yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game to say the least for us. Shotgun set 3 wide on the far side for Scott Saylor and the Panthers coming out on offense to start things off. Saylor, high snap, he keeps it himself on a read option. He will get crushed at the line of scrimmage. They will say he gained a couple, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
And I think it's one of those things, you have to set up the Luke Janik run before you can run the read option.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just don't like that play call to start the game off.
So Panthers will have it 2nd and 8, ball on the 22-yard line. Saylor looking over to the sideline for Mark Morris's play call. Now he gets set 2 wide on either side, shotgun set. Saylor. Motion from far side to near side. They run the speed option. Saylor will keep it himself. He'll get the first down and more. He could go. He's got some space.
Down to the
and
50.
he will get taken down at the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 41-yard line. But a big gain for Scott Saylor on the speed option, just keeping it himself.
And
we have a first down.
That kind of looked like where what we did in the Conway game, where no one just picked up the QB, and the QB and Scott Saylor just took the opportunity and ran with it. And this is how you want to start the drive.
Yeah.
And this is big because this is how you want to start the game if you're Coach Mark Morris. Offense looking to the side here. Scott Saylor going to go into the shotgun. Luke Janik to his right. Scott motion tight end. Scott Saylor hands it off to Luke Janik. Luke Janik going to take it. He's going to take it for around 6 yards down to the 35-yard line. And Luke Janik right up the middle. Pretty good run to start off the first down play.
Yeah, that's just something that you want to just, you just give it to Luke Janik on that 1st and 10 and just see what he can do.
Right. Offense looking to the sideline. This guy's going to be back into the shotgun right now, and Luke Janik's going to move to the near side to Scotty's left. Tight end moves. Scotty's going to hand it off to Luke Janik again. Luke Janik's going to get up the middle and be just a yard short. He's going to get down to the 32-yard line. 3rd and 1 upcoming, and I want to see that play again. Honestly, if I'm just a bystander, I want to see Coach Mark Morris run that play again. And
even with it being 3rd and 3?
3rd and 1 right now.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 right now. Janik moving to the far side now on Scotty's right side. Tight end motioning to the middle. Hands it off to Luke Janik again. Luke Janik's going to blast through the middle, and he's going to pick up a gain of around 6. And that'll be enough for the first down there. So good run, like I said, good run by Luke Janik, and just able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, that's all you really need to do. Just give it to Luke Janik, see if he can, just let him get some yards, see if he can break a big one. But even if he doesn't, he's still accumulating positive yardage.
Count force at the 27-yard line. Scotty Saylor in the shotgun. Takes a snap. No drop. And he dropped the pass on a curl route right there. And that's one of those that you need to complete just as a first down pass in general.
Yeah.
Just because that's how you're going to set the offense for the rest of the drive, or for the rest of the down and distance. Scotty looking at the sideline again. It's a little slower than what we're used to for offense. I was just thinking.
Well, this year, just in general, it's been not quite as up-tempo as they used to be.
Scotty takes a snap. Speed option. He's going to get down to around the 30 or 20-yard line, and that'll be a gain of around 7. So that's a good makeup for the first down play right there for Scotty there.
And it seems like they're using the speed option with Luke Janik in there, and it's, Janik is enough of a threat that they're going after him, and Scott's just keeping it himself and getting good yardage off of it.
Right. Ball at the 20-yard line. Janik on the near side. Tight end motions to the near side. Scotty takes a snap, hands it off to Luke Janik, and Luke Janik met in the backfield and will get right near the first down. I think he's going to be a yard short. And they're going to go for it here, and I think it's just another Luke Janik run right here.
Yeah.
You got to go for it here. Carolina Force at the 18-yard line. Scotty back in the shotgun. Luke Janik on the far side now, on Scotty's right. Scotty waiting for the snap. Scotty looking back to the sideline now. 4th and 1 here. Big play. Hand off to Luke Janik. Oh,
they blew the whistle.
They blew the whistle
dead
there.
Blew it dead.
And that's going to be a false start, it looks like.
Yep, you are correct.
False start. So that'll bring them back to 4th and 6. And I like the play. It was a read option. It was a read option. Scotty kept the ball.
Yeah.
And was going to run
he
right
looked
behind.
like he was going to get the first down and more.
And the big part about that play was that he was running right behind Luke Janik.
Yeah.
And that's an extra offensive lineman almost.
So I think here, you probably still do just hand it off to Janik, but maybe a play action here?
Maybe a play action here. 2 wide receivers on either side. Scotty in the shotgun. He's going to drop back. He's going to find it. T-Mars McCollum at the 10. He's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, T-Mars McCollum.
Perfect slant route by T-Mars McCollum from the slot. Just took it, slant route, wide open down the middle of the field, and he just takes it in for the easy touchdown.
And that was a really good pass by Scotty.
Yeah.
He put some zip on that ball so that the ball didn't get tipped or intercepted.
Well, it was just a simple one-step drop. Just noticed the slant route. He got open. Boom.
Touchdown. J.J. Chaddock out to kick the extra point. It is bobbled up and good.
He got luck. The Panthers got lucky there on that one because it was bobbled by, I believe, Scott. Is Scott the one that does the holding?
Couldn't tell who it was.
I couldn't tell who it was either, but it was bobbled either way.
Carolina Force up 7-0 with 7:40 left in the first quarter, and what an opening drive!
Yeah,
that was a really good opening drive. And a little side note for me, because the Luke Janik touchdown got called back, the strip sack from a couple weeks ago.
You got your first touchdown call.
My first touchdown call, and it was a little better than the rest of the drive. It was a little shaky on the rest, but either way, glad to get that out of the way. And maybe I'll get a few calls out of the St. James drive. We'll see how it goes. But
you may get a few before it reaches the 50.
Yeah. Either way, great.
Well, actually, let's put some positive energy out here. Let's hope you call the entire drive because you may have the first and third quarter all to yourself pretty much in this game if the Panthers keep the ball on that side of the field.
Right. That's a really good drive to start out for Carolina Force because it showed what you can do on both sides. It showed that you were two-dimensional. It didn't show that you were just Luke Janik running the football.
Yeah, which is what we've been talking about, especially during the Conway game. We talked about it, of needing to pass the ball more.
And JJ off, and it is up, and it's a sky-high kick. Caught at the 30, returned, and he'll be brought down right at the 36-yard line. St. James offense coming out now. And now the defense needs to keep the momentum. We talked about it in the Sockesty game. There were a few drives in the Sockesty game where the Carolina Force offense scored, then the Carolina Force defense got to stop, and vice versa. They need to return here.
Yeah.
Number 9, Alex Jones, the QB, in a shotgun set. Oh, Joey McMenamin.
McMenamin.
And there's a handoff to number 26, Patrick Gallagher there. And that was a loss of 1 there, back down to the 35. 35 and a half-ish. They put the ball right in the middle just to make my life harder. But that was a good first down stop right there on the run. And that's
exactly what you need as the Panthers.
Right.
Panthers just need to focus on just playing good defense. Not trying to do anything flashy.
One wide receiver on either side for St. James. Running back on the far side. Timeout, St. James. The play clock was running down. There was about 2 seconds left on the play clock. St. James uses a timeout.
So St. James uses their first timeout, and we've talked about it before. That's not a good sign, having to use a timeout so early. But we'll take one with them. 7-0, Panthers in the lead with 6:20 left to go in the first quarter here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are set for action once again. St. James trying to get a drive going, trying to tie the game back up. 7-0 Panthers in the lead with 6:20 left to go. And Preston, take it away.
One wide receiver on either side for St. James. Running back in the backfield and 2 tight ends in the backfield as well. A handoff, and it'll be stopped at the line, right at the line for Carolina Forest. And good tackling there as well. Number 26. Yeah, Patrick Gallagher there on the run there. And great tackling by the Carolina Forest defense. There's about 2 or 3 Panthers there.
Great job by the Panthers just closing the hole and making sure that they wrap him up and keep him where he is.
Right. And St. James with 1 wide receiver on either side. Tight ends on either side as well on the line. Running back. Play action. Rolling to his right, scrambling. He's going to get out right around the 49, and he'll be just short. They gave him a go. They're going to mark him down at the
Yeah.
They're going to mark him down at the 46-yard line and give him the first down, but that looked like an iffy spot, if I'm going to be honest with you.
It was hard for me to see from where I was at, but it looked like he might have stepped out, maybe at the 45 instead.
Right. Either way, they're going to give him the first down right at the Carolina Forest 46. St. James in the huddle. And that's one of the things that we've talked about from the Carolina Forest is that they haven't been able to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down, and that's caused some of the struggles on defense. St. James, 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Snap. Handoff to number 7. He's going to fall down for a gain of 3. Number 7, Chase Washington on the carry there, and the 3 middle linebackers stepped up and was able to close that gap off that he had for a little bit there.
That's something that the Panthers are doing well tonight thus far, is just making sure that the offensive line is not able to open any holes for these running backs.
Right. Now a 3 wide receiver set, it looks like, on the far side, and then 1 on the near side. St. James. Snap. Oh, it's a fumble snap, and he's going to no, he's not going to oh, yeah, they're going to mark his knee down at where he picked the ball up, right around the 36-yard line. And that is a huge break for Carolina Forest because this is where they need to get off the field
exactly.
on 3rd down.
It looked like the Panthers were going to the Sharks were starting to get a drive going.
Right.
But that errant snap basically shuts this drive down, barring obviously a big-time play right here on 3rd and about 20.
Yeah. And this is, like you said, this is a big play for Carolina Forest defense right now. Shotgun set, 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Snap. He's looking deep. Looking to the side. And it's dropped. There are flags on the field. And
this may be a pass interference.
This is going to be pass interference on, but there was a lot of hand fighting there, so I wonder if this is going to be offsetting penalties on both parties. this is going to be interesting to what both refs saw on the play.
Normally on pass interference plays like that, they determine, okay, who was more at fault and give the penalty to them.
And it looked like number 3 almost for St. James. He's not on the roar.
Let me see.
I don't see number 3. Either way, they were both tangled up on the side, and it's going to be on the Carolina Forest Panthers.
It's Deshaun Faulkner.
Deshaun Faulkner. It looks like there was hand fighting between him and Jaden Johnson, who's on that near side corner. And Carolina Forest is going to get the penalty for the pass interference here. Yeah. So they did decide that Jaden pushed off first.
That's a tough break for Carolina Forest there.
Making the 3rd and 20, 3rd and 10, that's not what you want. 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side, running back on the quarterback's far side. And that's going to be offside.
That's another
tough break. And this 3rd and 20 turns into 3rd and 5 really quickly. And that's one of the things where Carolina Forest defense just hasn't been able to get off the field.
And now with them moving across,
I will hand it to you.
I'll take over.
The more experienced play-by-play, I'll give them that. And
hey, you did good for your first time.
For my first time.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 now for St. James. Trying to keep this drive alive. And like we talked about, after being 3rd and 20, now all the way down to 3rd and 5. This is not a good way for the Panthers to try to get out of this drive. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap. Read option. Looking, getting some pressure. Going up into the pocket, trying to scramble down the middle, but getting taken down. Looked like that was number 46, Noah Chuddick, who made the tackle. And it'll be a gain of 1. They'll say it was a gain of 2.
Yeah.
So it'll be 4th and 3.
Is St. James punting this?
Looks like it. Yeah, they're gonna punt it away. Very surprising. I mean, then again, we're so used to the Carolina Forest aggressive play as it's a high punt. They'll just let that one go out of bounds. Tried to cough and corner it. We'll see where they mark him. They're going to say it went out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Oh, no, even further. They're going to say it went out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Yeah. And I think it was just one of those things where he was watching where the ball was crossing over out of bounds, and it just so happened to be so far further up. And the ball it almost hit the track. The track is about 7-ish yards from the actual field, so it did hit the track, so it was pretty far out there.
So Panthers go on offense once again. They'll start on their own 27-yard line. 1st and 10. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Sailor. And there are whistles blown. That may be a false start.
Timeout.
Timeout will be called.
The play clock was running down. It was that one when he called the timeout. Carolina Forest did not look ready. Did not look set at all there.
So with 3:38 to go in the first quarter, both teams already calling a timeout, and you have to wonder if that's going to play any impact as we head towards the end of the second quarter and the first half.
Right, and that's kind of been a theme with some of the games that we've had this season is coaches calling timeouts early in the halves
in order to avoid delay of games.
Right, and it hasn't mattered. It didn't matter in the Sumter game, but in the Socastee game, who knows what Socastee does with that extra timeout?
Yeah, exactly.
So it just all depends on how the game is going. And I would like to put defense got to stop, offense got to score. Offense got to score, defense got to stop. Now the offense can take a 2-possession lead, something that we haven't been afforded
had in a long time. I think not since the New Hanover game.
Right.
So it'll be shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Sailor, motion offense, moving into the H-back position. They'll hand it off. Johnson gets hit by his own. He trips up against his own guard and falls down after a gain of maybe 2. They'll give him 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8. And that was just a tough break for Khalil Johnson right there. Just backed right into Rashawn Owens.
Right, and that was one of those plays where he has a gap to run through, and he was going to run through it. It just so happened that the offensive lineman was getting pushed back into Khalil Johnson, and Khalil Johnson isn't as big as Luke Janik.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to bounce off that.
Of that. So it'll be 2nd and 8. Ball on the 29-yard line. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. 3-step drop, looking far side, passes it well. Oh, almost caught, but not able to hang on to it. That was almost picked off, actually, by Joe Kowitsky.
And that was almost a duck. I love Scotty. That was a duck. He lofted that one up there, and I think he was thinking more it was going to be a deeper route than it was.
Yeah.
And
tried to get it to Owen Hall, and it
just kind of sat
shot,
there. And he's lucky that wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, Joe Kowitsky, the free safety, trying to make the interception, but just could not hang on to it. So it's 3rd and 8 now. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. He'll go far side again. That one is caught. Incomplete. Again overthrew his receiver. This time Nathan Schussler, the intended target, but just overshot him a little bit. And now it'll be 4th and 8, and it looks like Luke Janik's going to come out to punt it away.
But we have seen them go for it with Luke Janik before, and
he's backing up. Yeah. So Janik boots it. It's a high punt.
Caught at the 32. He's going to return it. He's going to make one, almost miss, and he's going to get brought down at the 45 for St. James. And I like the brainwaves were going through there on the call there. I'm glad I picked it up because I thought you were about to start calling, and then I was like, oh, that's fine.
Because the window.
It's so the wind. You can't see. Obviously, you can't see us, but there's a giant wood pillar in the middle of us.
And the windows are very foggy.
Foggy, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way.
Or dirty.
St. James shotgun, one wide receiver on either side. It's a pitch play out to the side, and he's going to get around the corner. He's going to get a gain of around 6. Number 7, Chase Washington on the carry there, and he got to the outside and was able to turn the corner and get a good gain out of that first down run. St. James in the huddle now.
So you get a grand total of 1 play on that, that play right there. So it'll be 2nd and 3. Ball on the 47-yard line of Carolina Forest. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Actually, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off. Actually keeping it himself and trying to break around. That was actually number 2, Justice Williams, on the end around. And he brings it near side and gets a couple of yards. They will give him enough for the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 42-yard line of Carolina Forest. And this is the best opportunity for St. James to get something going offensively all thus far tonight.
Right, and this is one of those drives where the defense didn't get a lot of time to rest, so maybe that's playing a factor into Carolina Forest defense right now. Shotgun
set, motion offense. They'll hand it off, and getting crushed behind the line is Chase Washington. And couldn't quite tell who got that tackle, but he got into the backfield very, very quickly.
And he got there because the design of the run was to push to the left side, the far side, and get out to the edge on that side. And the defense.
I think it was Peyton Bridges.
I think it was too.
In.
And he was able to come off the weak side and get the tackle from behind.
Yeah. So he did get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Shotgun pistol set. They'll triple option run. They'll pitch it out, trying to get around the corner, but not quite able to. Is Justice Williams, but he gets a gain of 6. And that'll be a 3rd and 2 now for St. James.
And
ball placed on the 34-yard line.
They're giving St. James a warning right now. At the end of that run, there was a big hit on the sideline, and St. James's bench was kind of fired up. So they're giving St. James the warning this time, and now they're conferring with the St. James coaches right now. And they're giving them. I'm assuming what they're doing is giving them the warning for staying off the field.
Yeah. So it'll be 3rd and 2. Ball on the 34-yard line of Carolina Forest. They'll go shotgun pistol. H-back on the far side, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off and trying to get through the line. Getting stuffed at the line. Not sure if he got enough. Chase Washington got the handoff, and they will mark him just short. Actually, they'll just say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th and 2 now for St. James, and this time it looks like they will go for it as they're kind of in no man's land right now at the 34-yard line.
And this is where you're kind of forced. You need to stop here. And
yeah, this is a big play.
If they go fullback dive again here, you have to get up the middle because there's not much stopping him.
Shotgun pistol set. They do go. Oh, no, I believe. Yeah Joey McMenamin kept it himself. And he will get the first down on the read option quarterback sneak.
And he ran right behind the fullback
He just went, it was basically a midline read option where he just faked the handoff and then shot right up the gap. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line.
And if you're Carolina Forest, that was your chance to get off the field.
Yeah.
And now you have to kind of create something to get off the field. A turnover, or maybe you get a lucky break. Maybe you get another snap that's over a QB's head and you get it back.
That's something we've talked about a lot this year as well, of the defense having to rely on lucky breaks.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, that'll end the first quarter. So the score after 7-0 Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls is Myrtle Beach's first Acai restaurant. Costa Bowls is a fruit bowl restaurant that also serves pitaya bowls, makes smoothies, hot oatmeal bowls, and parfaits. Costa Bowls. Eat something fresh and healthy on the go. Costa Bowls always serves fresh and healthy food that is happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls. Always fresh.
Panthers trying to get a stop after giving up a first down on a big 4th and 2 play just a few moments ago as we get set to begin the second quarter. And since the field flips, now you get the chance to take over. You get to call some St. James offense this time.
Yeah, and maybe it's a very consequential drive for both of these teams as St. James has a chance to tie this score up. St. James in a shotgun, one wide receiver on either side. Tight ends on the near side, 2 tight ends on the near side. Snap, handoffs, and he'll take it up the middle and get stuffed about. They're going to say he got right back to the line of scrimmage. So stuffed at the line of scrimmage, number 7, Chase Washington again. And he's listed as number 2 on the depth chart.
Yeah, he was listed as their backup, yet they've been using him a lot. Maybe it's probably a lot like Carolina Forest, where it's kind of split. A two-back system.
3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Running back on the far side, or on the near side, excuse me. Takes a snap. Play action, looking deep. Got him on the flat. He's going to catch it and get tackled at around the 19-yard line, inbounds. They're going
to mark it even further. They're going to mark him at the 17.
They gave him a lot of – it looked like he was out of bounds a lot sooner than he was. Either way, they're going to give him the first down there, and that's one of those things where you're playing deep on that. It was a soft coverage, and he threw it in the flat and was able to get the first down.
And that you can't really do anything about that if you're playing deep. You're going to give up those. I'd rather give up the flat
than the touchdown.
Definitely.
2 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Back on the near side. Snap. Play action. It's a screen pass, and he's going to catch it, and he's going to get down to the 7-yard line, and that was just almost an RPO.
There's a flag, apparently.
Yeah, flag, and with those types of screen passes, it could be pass interference on the offense for blocking too early.
A holding on the offense.
Ooh. I'll take it.
You take it as the Panthers.
And that's one of those breaks that we've been talking about over and over and over again for this Panthers defense, is kind of waiting for them to make a mistake. And in high school football, you kind of can, because these aren't professionals or even college players. They're not going to be perfect every single time.
But as the old adage goes, there's a holding on every play in football. So Sometimes it gets called, and sometimes it doesn't.
St. James out, 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Pistol formation now. Chase Washington in the backfield. Snap. It's going to be a speed option. He's going to get around the corner and actually going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be taken down at the 24-yard line. They're going to give him a gain. They're going to get him right back to the line of scrimmage. And that's one of those plays where that was really well defended, and the speed option
has been one of the problems for the Panthers this season.
And that's kind of where you want the defense to be playing, is you want to be able to defend that speed option.
But then again, one thing we've talked about is how it may be a situation of the Panthers playing better against against better teams.
Snap and intercepted. Oh no, he dropped it. That was a kind of a late call, but that's kind of my fault there. And it was just a rollout to the far side, and he was able to dump it off to his wide receiver. Wesley Fletcher. He was out on coverage there and was able to break it away and almost came up with the interception. He was falling on his back and the ball bounced off of him, and that's one of those plays where you kind of need to come up with that interception.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault too because I can't see if they're snapping the ball. So
3rd and 17 here. 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Hands it off. It's going to be an end around now. It's going to be a fake play. It's going to be a flea flicker. QB throws it downfield into. That was a weird play to
That
call.
was a very weird play.
It was an end around and a flea flicker in 1, and then he threw it deep. But Cal Force that was covered very well.
That was covered very well. The Panthers
all over that.
That was very smart and very
disciplined.
Yes, thank you. Very disciplined defense, not biting on the end around fake, and being able to stay in your zone, stay in your coverages. And there were, 3 or 4
Panthers
around the receiver.
And they're going to go for a kick here. Number 37, Tyler Woodruff, is the field goal kicker here. He's going to be kicking a 41-yard field goal.
This is a rarity.
Hold. Blocked! It's going to be blocked! It's going to be caught by Luke Janik. He's going to get it at the 40. He's going to take it down, and he's going to take it down to the 44-yard line. What a play by the Carolina Force special teams.
And maybe that's why you don't see kicks very often.
Right.
Because, you have so many variables that can happen, and the Panthers were able to get the block field goal, and Luke Janik picked it up and was able to run a couple of yards and get the ball close to Sharks territory.
And that's one of those momentum shifters.
Yes, absolutely.
2 on the far side, running back Khalil Johnson on the near side. Scotty takes the snap, hands it off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson's going to get on the outside. He's going to get a gain of about 2 there. And there was, another lane, but he just couldn't hit. He got the lane, but offensive line kind of shed too quickly and then was trying to get to the next level. Just couldn't get there, though. Yeah. And this, you got to feed off the momentum. The defense has been kind of again, we talked about in pregame, defense, and this defense has been showing up this game.
And this is something that's very good going into the playoffs, seeing that the defense is starting to improve, starting to get better. But I'll talk about my thoughts on the defense in just a little bit after this play.
2 wide receivers on the far side, tight end motions to the middle. Hand off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson's right up the middle, and he's going to get down to the 48-yard line, 2 yards short, 3rd and 2. And I'll hand it off to my partner here.
Now that Panthers are in St. James territory. But what I was saying before when the Panthers were playing defense earlier is that it may be a situation of these St. James players aren't nearly as big and strong as Sumter or Fort Dorchester, and thus you're able to tackle them more easily. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap, hands it off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson will get stuffed at the line and just get pushed back by a school of sharks. There we go. I don't know if that's what it is, but I'll use it. And that'll make it 4th and 1. And this is a big play early on in this game.
And guess who's coming in?
Luke Janik
is coming in. And would you have it any other way? No. You run it right up the middle. I don't care if they have 11 in the box. You run it right up the middle with Luke Janik and let him take a one-on-one.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Sailor, motion, moving from tight end to H-back. They'll hand it off to Janik. Janik will get the first down and more. Gets taken down at around the 42-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Carolina Forest first down.
And that was exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Run right up the middle with Luke
Just
Janik.
hand it off
and just hand it off.
That's all you need to do.
And if I'm Coach Mark Morris, I go right back to it because Luke
Yeah.
Janik is still in the game, and why would you not?
Hey, as the old adage goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side, two tight ends on the field. Motion from far side to near side. They hand it off to Janik once again. He'll get through the gap and will get crunched after a gain of about 3.
And that's one of those imposing your setting the tone. That's the phrase I'm using or trying to look for.
Imposing your will.
Imposing your will. Just all of those things wrapped into one because eventually it's almost like Derrick Henry like we were talking about in Saucony. At some point you're just not going to want to tackle Luke Janik
And
anymore.
at some point he's just going to lower that shoulder and bowl someone over.
Right.
So they actually only gave him 2 yards, so it's 2nd and 8. Ball on the 40-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, hands off to Janik. Janik gets around the corner. He could go. He'll get the first down and more. Gets taken down at the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 10 for Janik. And another Carolina Forest first down.
And maybe that not wanting to tackle Luke Janik comes a little bit more sooner than we thought. And
well, that was more so just him finding an open lane around the edge.
Right.
And just, finding the space to get the first down. So 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. 2 tight ends on either side of the offensive line. Sailor takes the snap, hands it off to, I believe,
that's Janik.
Is that Janik?
Janik's
Okay.
still in, yeah.
He looked a little smaller to me for a second there. And he will get a gain of about 5. They will give him 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5, ball on the 25-yard line. And Panthers just methodically moving the ball down. This offense reminds me a lot of the New Hanover offense.
And it does remind me of that, and I was just thinking the same thing.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Sailor. Motion. Schussler moves to the far side. They hand it off to Janik. Janik will get through the gap. He's still on his feet. He'll drag a couple of defenders to around the 13-yard line. And that was a good run by Janik. I thought he was going to get taken down right around the first down marker, and then he just broke through a tackle and was able to get about 8 extra yards.
So what you're saying is now is an applicable time to say maybe the not tackling Luke Janik comes a little bit sooner than we thought.
Yes.
Because that was like 2-3 kids that he just ran through. And it almost looks like a grown man playing against boys.
It does look like Derrick Henry a lot.
A little bit. Khalil Johnson now in the game, however.
So Khalil Johnson comes in now. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They do hand it off. Oh, no. Sky Sailor keeps it himself, and he will get a gain of a couple. They'll mark him down at around the 12-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is where I would go the T. Mars McCollum slant again.
Mm-hmm.
I think you line him up in the slot and let him run that slant again because
worked.
Because it's sucking the defense. The Luke Janik and the Khalil Johnson's runs are sucking the defense into the middle and let T. Mars McCollum even a 1-on-1 he's 1-on-1 in the slot right now.
Play action slant route.
Yeah.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will get close to the first down marker. Still on his feet. A whole horde of players are just trying to push him forward. We'll see where they mark him. I believe they will give him enough for the first down.
He's right there, and it's either 3rd and 1 or
it's
first
either
down.
3rd and inches or 1st and goal.
And they're gonna.
I was about to say I thought they were gonna bring the chains out, but they're just gonna give it to him.
Give it to him. And what I was saying, T. Mars McCollum is 1-on-1 on the near side. Maybe you just let him. He's athletic. He can go up and get the ball. let him do a little fade route maybe and see what he can do, and not let him even get the chance to go up the middle and get intercepted or whatever.
1st and 10, ball on the 3-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will just go into the maw of the defense and will get stuffed. He did get in.
And that's the difference between Janik and Johnson. Johnson is right up the middle, but he can get small. He is small,
but
he can get smaller and fit through those gaps where you think he's like stuffed, but he's not.
Well, not just that. He's one of those backs where behind the big offensive line, you don't see him until it's too late.
Right.
As the extra point is up and good.
And it's Jack Schuessler on the it's Nathan Schuessler. Nathan Schuessler. Jack Schuessler's the older brother. Anyway, but he's the one holding the snaps for
JJ Chaddock. So that'll extend the lead out to 14-0. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action. 3:37 left to go in the first half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
There's a new chicken in town. Bo's Supreme Tenders aren't just good, they're made from scratch good. Recurring dream good. Pull over and crush them in the parking lot good. Cause they're made with juicy chicken that's ex-vegetarian good. And a bold southern crunch that's good to the last crumb good. Did we mention house-made buttermilk ranch good? Bo's Supreme Tenders. They're good. It's Bo time.
St. James about to go on offense once again, trying to get something going on the offensive end on either side of the ball as the Panthers have just dominated thus far.
And one thing that I wanted to mention about the offense is that they've been pulling out all the stops. The two wide receiver reverses and then the flea flicker as J.J. Chaddock is set to kick off, and he will kick it off from the 40. It is a sky-high kick, caught at the 30-yard line, taken out, and he will be dragged down at the 35-yard line.
So that's where St. James will take over on offense and just try to get something going. And this has been a very impressive game thus far for the Panther defense, not allowing St. James to move the ball much at all, but if they have, it's been a very much bend up but don't break type of attitude.
And even then, it's been sometimes St. James not being able to get through the field into the end zone.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side, H-back on the near side as well. They'll hand it off. Oh no, McMenamin keeps himself, and that gets absolutely crushed in the backfield. Number 15. Renardo Parks makes the tackle. That was 19. I thought it was a 15, but I guess it was number 19. And Renardo Parks comes up with the tackle. He just broke through the line and was able to get McMenamin in the backfield.
And that's where you want to be if you're Carolina Forest defense. This is where you need to get them off the field and give your offense a chance to score before the second half's over, or the first half's over.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Rolling out to his right, still looking, throwing short and incomplete, just throwing it a little too short. Tried to get it to Jashawn Faulkner, but he just could not hang on to it. That was just a rollout, trying to see what he can do, what he can build, and just nothing there. Good coverage for the Panthers.
Well, it almost looked like number 2 Justice Williams was also there, and it almost looks like they played defense on each other because they were both there, ready to make the catch, and both of them went for the ball and knocked the ball out.
It's one of those, like in basketball with a rebound.
Right. You're gonna get it. Oh, we'll both get it.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Never mind.
Yeah, you don't go against yourself, or like a fly ball in baseball where you have to call everyone off and say, I got it.
And because of that incompletion, this puts Carolina Forest, if they can get off the field, in a great offensive field position.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Fake handoff, looking, rolling out, still looking, and just pushing himself out of bounds, trying to bowl over number 35. That was R.J. Williams, who came to try and make the tackle, but McMenamin just bowled him over, but went out of bounds anyway.
Right. And
so either way, it's a 4th and 11.
And one thing that I would like to mention is that because they went out of bounds, that stops
the clock.
And that gives way too much time, in my opinion, for the Cal Forest offense.
I mean, considering they were able to score in 26 seconds last week, I think they can score with 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So they'll punt it away.
It's blocked!
And it's blocked!
Wesley Fletcher got
great
in.
block! Wesley Fletcher will pick it up. He'll go all the way into the end zone for the touchdown!
And it took
2 seconds.
It took 9 seconds to score.
Okay, nice.
And Wesley Fletcher got in there and was able to block it. And I said but this was before the air. It wasn't pre-game.
Yeah.
But I said that I wanted to see Wesley get an interception because of how the size mismatch against the wide receivers.
It's not quite an interception, but it's
something.
It's close.
And it's
a block six instead of a pick six.
And that's a great play for Wesley Fletcher. And Carolina Forest kind of running away with this game.
Yeah.
And you have
which is good to
see. And you get the feeling that St. James is kind of like returning to their ways. They were hyped in the beginning of the season because of the win against St. James. Win against Socastee. And now they're just...
And now you have to start wondering. I know it's a little early, but now you have to
they're going to... Why is it being brought back?
I'm not sure.
I
didn't see...
illegal block in the back. Okay.
So it's an illegal block in the back on Panthers off of the punt block.
Either way.
So the touchdown does not count, but the Panthers do get the ball in prime field position. They'll have it in the red zone to start off the drive. 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Sailor takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Jake. Jake gets a wide open hole, and he'll take it down to the 9-yard line for a Panther first down.
No, they're going to mark him.
They're going to mark him just short.
Right at the 10. And but either way, that's a really good run from Luke Janik there.
A great 9-yard run for Janik, so it'll be 2nd and inches. Ball on the 10-yard line.
And the officials called a timeout for something. They have the clock stopped.
So we'll have to wait and see. I think there's
someone's hurt. It's Luke Janik.
Oh,
Luke Janik is hurt.
That is not a good sign, that's not a good sign for the Panthers.
He's
needing to be helped off.
It's his left leg, it looks like. I don't want to speculate, but
obviously.
It looks like he's favoring that right leg just because that left leg looks a little hurt. Either way,
not a good sign for the Panthers. Hopefully, Janik will be back sooner rather than later. But in this case, the Panthers don't need him tonight, I don't think, as much.
Right.
But going into next week, going into the playoffs, that would not be a good sign if he has to be out. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson breaks through the hole, gets to the 5-yard line, will try to spin his way into the end zone.
Touchdown.
But we'll get they will give him the touchdown.
There was no signal by the line judges there. It was the far official who signaled touchdown. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
J.J. Chaddock's out for the extra point, so they called it a touchdown.
Okay. Because it looked like the far side judge was standing at the 1-yard line, like saying he was stopped at the 1-yard line. But they will have J.J. Chaddock come out for the extra point. He kicks it. It's up and good. And that'll extend lead out to 21-0. And especially now, you have to start looking to see, is this a game that the Panthers add once again? Is this their is this
their annual beating up of St. James? Yes.
Yes. Is this their, let's see, 1, 2, 3, is this their 6th game in the top 10 in terms of point differential?
Maybe, but it'll be interesting because it depends on if the defense can continue what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Because
obviously.
it's okay, so the number 10 spot is 40-point differential. They're right now sitting at 21 and could even increase that because of how well the defense has been playing. So if my answer to the question is maybe.
Maybe.
That's where I'm at right now.
Last year, for those of you who remember, last year the Panthers not only added to that list with a 42-point win over St. James last year, but also it was the biggest scoring game in Panthers history prior to this year against West Brunswick. They tied it with 70 points as a high kick is fielded and taken down at the 34-yard line. So that's where St. James will take over on offense.
And with 148 here, I'm not saying the offense is going to be aggressive coming back on the field because of the 21-0 lead, and you never know what can happen in however much time. But if the defense gets off the field here, that is it. It would be a great. It's probably the best half of football that I've seen.
Yeah.
From
Definitely.
From the entire Carolina Force team.
Definitely. So they'll go shotgun set. They'll pitch it out to
number 28.
Number 28,
26.
Patrick Gallagher, and he'll get a gain of about 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5.
And I think you were right on the fact that it's a split back kind of force where they get kind of split carries and between Chase Washington and Patrick Gallagher.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball on the 39-yard line. Shotgun set. One wide on either side. 2 H-backs on the far side. They'll hand it off this time to Washington.
No, it's Gallagher.
Oh,
Gallagher
it is. Excuse me. It is Gallagher again. He'll get only get a gain of a couple. He'll get taken down at the 42-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 3. And now, with the clock running, I think both teams are just heading into the locker room at this point. Less than a minute left to go in the first half. Shotgun set, 2 H-backs on the near side. They'll hand it off once again. Oh, no, read option, and getting crushed in the backfield after after a loss of 1 is McMenamin.
And Carolina Force calls a timeout.
And so that was the question I was about to ask was, do the Panthers think about trying to score with – now there's only 30 seconds left to go.
They scored in 28 seconds.
But that was a more pressing situation.
You know me, and I've said it all year
You love
long.
your offense.
I love scoring. Now, I've been waiting for Mark Morris to just seize the opportunity for just to take a full initiative and go straight for offense.
You must have hated the first half of the Giants-Panthers game this week.
Oh, it sucked. It was horrible. The only reason I was even intrigued by it was because Scorigami, I don't know if I follow the Twitter for Scorigami. Scorigami is basically just different scores and seeing if there can be a new score that has never been before.
I made a joke during that game. I said, "This is this is the world. What is this? The World Series? This is a baseball score, not a football score."
But that's the only reason I was interested for the Scorigami aspect. Either way, they're in punt formation.
They're going to punt it.
And there's confetti flying. There's confetti flying in the booth. They got confetti flying out.
They will punt it away.
And Nathan's going to let it bounce out of bounds right at the 17-yard line. And I was mentioning there was confetti they were dropping from somewhere. I can't tell where it was.
Above
us, maybe. But it fell right in my face. So I was like, oh, there's confetti. That's the ADHD kicking in. Either way, but now because it's from the 17, I don't know how aggressive Coach Mark Morris is going to be.
Yeah, especially with 24 seconds left to go in the half.
Right. And it's coming from the student section, actually. They're doing some festivities in the St. James student section.
It's either senior night or homecoming here tonight.
And they're going to take a knee and go to the halftime locker room. And that's a close on the best half of Carolina Force football I've seen this season.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a pretty safe statement to make.
Oh, definitely. The only one that I would even say comes close is the first half against New Hanover. And even there, it was much more methodical.
Right.
The offense wasn't as prolific as it is in this game.
Right, because we scored 21 in this half, and we scored 28 against New Hanover.
In the whole game.
Yeah. So
I think it was 14-0 at the half in that game.
I want to say, yeah, you're right. Either way, that just a great half of football for Carolina Force, and if they can build on it in the second half, this game will reach that top 10 margin.
And not only if they build on it, but not just for this game, but building on it for next week, the first round of the playoffs. So we'll step aside and come back with the Bojangles Bowtime halftime show in just a little bit. 21-0 Panthers in the lead at the half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls is Myrtle Beach's first Acai restaurant. Costa Bowls is a fruit bowl restaurant that also serves pitaya bowls, makes smoothies, hot oatmeal bowls, and parfaits. Costa Bowls. Eat something fresh and healthy on the go. Costa Bowls always serves fresh and healthy food that is happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls. Always fresh.
There's a new breakfast in town. Our new Bo's Chicken Biscuit isn't just good. With a scratch-made, fluffy buttermilk biscuit and bold, crunchy, hand-breaded fried chicken, it's convert to a morning person good. Just found your new go-to good. Capital G-O-O-D good. Because our breakfast is the kind of breakfast that eats other breakfast for breakfast good. Bo's Chicken Biscuit. It's good. It's Bo time.
This is the Bojangles Bowtime halftime show, and the Panthers are dominating like we haven't seen in a long time. That is for sure. 21-0. Panthers in the lead over St. James at the half, and this has just been, it hasn't been really flashy. We haven't seen, outside of, the blocked punt and, Luke Janik had one or two decent-sized runs, but nothing. He hasn't broken a huge one yet. So it's more methodical approach in this game than we've seen in past years, but still a very good sign for Carolina Forest in this game thus far.
Right, and it's been the methodicalness of New Hanover, but with a few bigger plays thrown in. And the one difference, we didn't have the short field that we did in New Hanover. It was more the defense getting a stop, but then they would punt the ball off. It wasn't a blocked field goal. It wasn't a blocked punt. It wasn't that type of thing. So when the offense is just getting the ball in plus territory already, then you don't need the extra big plays from Luke Janik or whatever the case may be. You just need the simple, 5-yard slant, let T. Mars McCollum get out in space. Let Luke Janik run for 10 yards twice, and then you're in the end zone. Let Khalil Johnson run for 5 yards and get in the end zone. Like, it's been a really good game for Carolina Forest offense, and there's been no turnovers. The special teams really has forced turnovers. And all over, Carolina Forest all around has played a really good game so far.
Hey, you know what's a good thing tonight? We get a special treat tonight.
Do we?
We get stats tonight.
We get stats.
Courtesy of Ian Guerin, because he actually keeps track of things like that. So, Carolina Forest thus far rushing. Janik, 10 carries, 60 yards. Scott Saylor, 4 carries, 47 yards. Khalil Johnson, 6 carries, 28 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For St. James, Joey McMenamin, 4 carries for 18 yards. And Chase Washington has 7 carries for 10 yards. Apparently, he didn't put Gallagher's numbers down. But passing, Scott Saylor, one pass, 1 out of 4 for 23 yards and a touchdown. And for St. James, McMenamin, 2 out of 5 for 14 yards receiving. McCollum, that's the one pass, the McCollum 23-yard touchdown pass. And for St. James, it has been, it's been Ben Sant who's made a couple of catches, apparently. 2 catches for 14 yards. Team stats, Carolina Forest has had 7 first downs. St. James only 3. Carolina Forest has had more penalties, though. 3 for 20 yards as compared to only 1 for 10 yards for St. James.
But it hasn't really seemed like that because one of them was on the punt block that was in
true.
Plus territory anyway. So the penalties that we've had haven't really affected us.
And while neither team has any official turnovers, there have been 2 basically unofficial turnovers with the block kick and the block punt.
Right.
So that's helped the Panthers out a lot thus far.
And with
tonight.
the rushing stats, Luke Janik 6 for 67 or something? Or 6 for 60. And then, 10 carries for 60 yards. 10 for 60, and then Scotty was 4 for
47. Yes.
Okay. You know what that tells me? When you have your quarterback averaging over
more
10,
yards.
No.
Okay.
Not even that. Just averaging 10 yards a carry, and then you have your running back averaging, or your go-to running back averaging 6 yards a carry. That just shows that your offensive line is getting really good push.
Yeah.
And in the case of Luke Janik, they're getting to the next level through running back or through linebackers. Now it'll be okay. Well, we don't know because we're not NFL and we don't have like on-field reports and whatnot. But it will be interesting to see that even if Luke Janik is not severely hurt, if he comes back in this game.
I would have to say, because here's the thing. Here's how I would do it. If it's just like, a cramp or something very minor, then sure. If he wants to come back in the game, especially on defense, bring him back in. If it's something that is going to affect him and you have the risk of if he comes out, like where it's not very serious, but if there's a chance of him aggravating it if he comes out, then you keep him out.
Right.
And then obviously if he can't come out, then he can't come back out.
Right.
But if it's one of those in-between injuries where
he might be able to come
where
back.
he would theoretically be able to come into the game, but then you risk aggravating it or it won't heal as well. Mm-hmm. In this game, at this point, you keep him out.
Right.
Because you have bigger things to worry about next week.
Right.
Which, let's talk about that real quick because we have some updates right now. Currently, it is, let me find it. It is, he's Lou Bezek is updating the game as it goes, but he's not giving the score very often. So let me try to find where the latest score he had. The latest score of the game is Lexington up 10-6. That was 15 minutes ago with 3:33 left to go in the second quarter.
So probably at halftime right now.
Yeah, it's getting close to halftime. Chapin got a big interception though. And they may be able to score at the end of the half.
So, we were talking about it before we went on air. Chapin gives up a lot of points, but also scores a lot of points. And Lexington's kind of the opposite. They don't give up a lot of points, but they also don't score a lot of points. And we were talking about it. We feel like Chapin for the team, and that was before the game though.
Yeah.
Now that the defense is playing better, does that change how you feel about the matchups?
No, because let's look at it for a second. Because there is something to take into consideration. Chapin, yes, they score 38.9 points per game, but they also give up 35.6. Whereas Lexington is scoring 11 points fewer, but they're giving up 15 points fewer.
Got it.
So I would still say I'd rather be worried about a potential shootout than worry about the offense not being able to score.
And I think that's kind of where I'm at too, mostly because I like scoring. So
you're gonna like scoring anyway. But even
if it's not like that, even if it's not a shootout, it's kind of one of those things where I'd rather rely on the offense than the defense.
Yes, exactly. That's the key for this team. Even with the defense playing well in this game, this team, even last year where the defense played well, you still were focused primarily on the offense.
And it's kind of one of those things where you don't want to have to sit on the ball to end the game. You don't want the defense to be on the field at the end of the game. You want it to be in your hands. And it's kind of one of those things where you don't know when or where the defense is going to come up clutch if they do, and that's why you rely on your offense.
Now, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter if this score line continues the way it is. But St. James, no, if St. James loses, they'd be out anyway.
Yep.
But do you want to hear the score at halftime of the Sumter-Conway game?
Sure.
8-7 Sumter.
8-7.
Yes, 8-7.
That's
I'm very surprised that the game is that.
Okay, so we were talking about it pregame.
Yeah.
Because Sumter already has number one in the region locked up, do they go to do they just sit some of their starters? And you were talking to me and said, "Oh, I don't think Sumter's like that." Well, the only reason I would see that score being the way that it is, unless Conway recruited 5 D1 athletes to come play for Conway for the game,
or they're playing the way they play in the first matchup against Carolina Forest.
Maybe, but even then, Sumter's just a different animal than that.
True.
It's a lot. It's a lot harder I feel like to stop 3 different people who can run the ball than one person for Carolina Forest.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. I think that, and obviously we're not there.
Yeah.
I would put more money on them resting players than them actually only winning by 1.
Yeah. But I just saw that score and it surprised me. It was. But we'll keep you up to date on the Chapin and Lexington game throughout the second half.
There's a ghost in the press box.
Yes, there's apparently a ghost in the press box.
Door slams.
So, real quick before we talk about the second half and everything, go through some of the Panthers and one Shark at the next level. Last week for the Panthers, only one player, former Panther, got on the field. Kyle Watkins caught 3 passes for 4 yards for Wofford last week. He's been used a decent bit for Wofford this year, which is nice to see.
Especially as a freshman?
Yeah, especially as a freshman.
Hey, that stat line is good for some PPR leagues and fantasy.
Yeah,
And you had Kyle Watkins.
that is true. If you got Kyle Watkins in the PPR league, that's pretty nice. And not, we've been ragging on St. James enough, but I just want to ask you a question. I want to see if you can figure this out. Considering how St. James has been in years past, they have one player in Division I. What position do you think he is?
Oh God. This is gonna be really disrespectful, but it's gotta be like kicker or punter or something like that.
Bingo.
Kicker,
Punter.
punter.
Which makes even more sense because they have
Because
to
they
punt
punt
so
so much.
often.
Where does he play at?
Coastal.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Charles Overson.
Oh dang! I
Yeah.
didn't realize.
Yeah,
So that's why
he's-
Coastal's always been the Grand Strand's little
Well,
farm system.
because Coastal is the closest place, and if you're
Right.
gonna stay, if you want to stay home, that's the place to go if you're a Division I talent in the area.
Unless
so-
you're going to Clemson like old Hunter Renfro.
Well, yeah, of course, but he was a little.
He was a little better
He was
than-
a little better than Coastal level.
Yeah.
If you're at that level, you go either to Clemson or South Carolina.
Right.
But yeah, last night he had 6 punts, had accumulated 225 yards punting with 1 punt over 50 yards and 1 inside the 20-yard line last night.
More importantly than that, they got the win.
Yes,
And-
they did.
And I've talked to
And Scott Saylor was there last
and Scott
night.
Saylor was there on official game day visit, which is even bigger because that's probably the biggest offer that he's gotten.
Would you
Or
say
is it
that
not-
over
not-
Ohio?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh,
because-
well, yeah, true.
yeah.
considering.
Coastal's ranked. Coastal.
Yeah, true.
Like Coastal. I mean, not that it really matters for the AP
Yeah,
poll because
yeah.
it is what it is, but I would say that's bigger than Ohio. And
considering the Sun Belt seems to be a conference on the rise with their realignment,
with
Marshall, yeah,
and JMU
Yep.
is reportedly
Yep.
trying to get
and
in.
Old Dominion,
And Old Dominion.
yeah.
So so this is gonna be a little bit of a side note, but I was talking to JJ Tech, the kicker, and I was like, so what's your biggest wish? That the offense gets stopped in like a 4th and long from the 25 so you can kick a field goal, or would you rather them score a touchdown and be happy for the team? And he always tells me it's a balancing act.
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's like, yes, I want the team to succeed, but like, and it doesn't matter for him as much because he plays soccer as well and he's really good at soccer.
Yeah.
But it's a balancing act because he wants to be able to play and kick and show
Yeah.
off his leg, but he also wants the team to succeed. And it's kind of the balancing act between being a team player and focusing on yourself.
Well, that's kind of what we've talked about with Scott Saylor too.
Right, right.
It's that balancing act of the forte of this offense is the running game. So you're not getting as many passes, you're not getting those stat lines, you're not getting the accolades, but at the same time, you're also winning.
Right. And as we wait for the St. James marching band to finish up.
Yeah, they're doing their show right now. It's kind of nice. We talked about this off the air. I think last week I mentioned how Carolina Forest doesn't do a halftime show,
Right.
and it's nice to actually see a halftime show going on the field.
And we talked about it in the Sumter game. Why don't they throw the ball more? And it was kind of like they're waiting on. It's not that they're waiting on, but we were talking about how is Mark Morris going to change his philosophy?
Yeah.
Is he going to go away from the running game? And whether it's to the whole offense as a whole or just Scotty as a person, I don't know that these games are helping his case to pass the ball more because of how efficiently they're running the ball.
Well, but you also have to take into consideration, and this is going to be the big question mark going into next season, is you still have Luke Janik there.
Right.
And he's just been absolutely dominant in the running game for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So when you have a dynamic running back like that, you stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
But next year, without him and only having Khalil Johnson, then you have to wonder, do you allow Scott Saylor to throw the ball more often?
Right, and it's going to be exciting to see. I'll put it to you that way. It's going to be exciting to see how Carolina Forest, their offense evolves, and how Coach Mark Morris evolves with losing Luke Janik and losing Tamars McCollum, your number 1 wide receiver. Now Anthony he's out tonight with his wrist is still messed up. But you'll have Anthony next year. You'll have Alec Youngblood next year. You'll have Jackson McCoy that we've talked about a few times today, or in the past.
Yeah.
So the wide receiver core is going to be interesting, to say the least, with how they're going to be seniors. So they'll have experience. But you don't have that number 1 option like you would need for Scotty to be successful.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone is able to step into that role next season.
I think before Anthony got hurt, that was going to be Anthony.
Because if you think about it, Nathan Schuessler, who played well last year too, he's a junior.
Yeah, right.
So he'll still be here as well. So the only wide receiver you're losing next year
is your number 1.
Is Tamars McCollum, who has become the number 1 this year. But I think Nathan Schuessler, if you lessen the reins on him and just let him go out there, I think he could become that number 1 receiver.
Now, are you saying he's the number 2 because Anthony is hurt? Like, see, that's the nuance to this question is because is he getting the numbers because Anthony is hurt, or is he actually a bona fide number 1, number 2 receiver on this wide receiver core next year?
I would say I think he can be, because he made a lot of good catches last year as well as a sophomore. Mm-hmm. So, when he was, obviously last year it was even more of a running style offense, but the few times that Kyle Watkins did throw the ball, he was his number 1 target.
Right. And that's just the question moving forward. And we still have hopefully we still have a lot of season. At least one. We'll have at least one more game.
Yeah,
but
I think at least 2 more games
hopefully
this season, considering how this team is playing. And we talked about it before. For all the talk outside of the Conway game, just remove that game from your memory, because also you have to take into consideration with that Conway game 2 things. 2 things that we don't really think about all that often. Lack of players, because a lot of players were in quarantine. Mm-hmm. And because it was the first game of a double round robin format, Mark Morris is notorious for using non-region games as basically tune-up games.
Right.
So did he hold, and especially since they had to play Conway in a bona fide region game just 2 weeks later,
right?
I think he held a couple of tricks out of the bag and kind of took it easy in that first game.
So what you're telling me is that the 3 losses that we're not counting, because you can't just discount the games.
Yeah.
But the 3 losses that we're saying that are actual losses are against
2 of the top teams in the state.
Not the top teams, because Sumter's not a top team. They're not.
Well, they're ranked 6th.
They're ranked 6th, but it's like Dutch Fork, then a while down is Fort Dorchester, and then way further down is everyone else.
No, I understand that. I agree with you there. But still,
it's and I agree with you. I think that we can somewhat take away from the Conway game because we came back 2 weeks later and beat them, and then we can now see this, and we talk about building blocks a lot with this team, and the Socastee game was a building block, and now this game
is a big
building block, and that's huge.
And like we said, but here's something to take into consideration. Well, Region 6 has been is certainly a weaker region than Region 5.
Right.
So whoever the Panthers play, assuming this scoreline stays the same, would be 2-2 in their region and would be 7-3 overall.
Yeah.
No matter what, because both Chapin and Lexington are 6-2 overall, 2-1 in their region. So, and I will, we'll have a full scouting report for you guys on those teams next week. But on whoever we face, but it's going to be a much closer game, I think, than this game, for example, or the Conway game.
Right.
But I think the Panthers certainly have the opportunity to win in the first round, as we are just about set to start the second half this has been the Bojangles Bowtime Halftime Show as we are underway in the second half. High kick fielded at the 20-yard line. Found a hole, and Patrick Gallagher takes it down to the 48-yard line. And the Sharks will take over in prime field position to start off the second half.
And that was a really good return, and St. James needing some momentum may have kind of found some momentum there as St. James in pretty good starting field position.
So they'll start with the ball on their own 48-yard line. Shotgun set. Heavy set. Trips on the far side. Snap. Hands it off. Trying to break through the hole, and he does. Washington still on his feet. He's good go, and he gets pushed out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. Chase Washington with a big gain, and they move the ball into Carolina Forest territory.
And that was a big run. They ran on the weak side there. They had trips on the far side, but ran to the near side, and that was huge. And now they're I don't know what this formation. They're going on a slant route to the fullback, number 44, Cam Tibbetts, and that you try to tell me what that formation was.
I didn't even see it.
It was almost like, you remember the Colts fake punt that they tried? That was kind of what it looks like. And it was a really weird. Trust me, I don't know what that formation is called, but either way it worked, and it got them 8 yards. So 2nd and 2 from the 30. 3 on the far side, running back on the far side as well. Hands it off to the weak side. Running. Washington's going to get a hole, and he's going to go, and he's going to score a touchdown. St. James on a really fast drive there, and that's not the start you want for Carolina Forest.
Not at all. A three-play, 75-yard drive, or 65-yard drive.
57 seconds came off the clock.
Not
what you want.
Now the Carolina Forest defense that we've seen all year starts to come out again, and I think the Panthers still have enough to win this game, but that is not a good sign going, to start off the second half.
Tyler Woodruff to kick, and it is up and good. And that's not how you want to start this drive.
Not by any stretch of the imagination, as we'll take a quick break. 21-7 with a little over 11 minutes left to go in the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we are back. Tyler Woodruff for St. James ready to kick it off, and he's placing the ball right now. And now we are getting ready to kick it off. And that's not the start you want if you're Carolina Forest. And now the offense has to respond, and they got to go get a drive going.
And with the uncertainty of whether Luke Janik, which is going to be interesting to see if Luke Janik comes out.
And it is off, and it is a deep kick. Fielded at the 1. Muff for a second. He's going to take it out to the 20. And that's where he'll be taken down, right at the 20-yard line. And that's where Carolina Forest offense will start. I do not see Luke Janik was out on the field for the kick return. So he is back. He is back. I did see him run off the field.
I'm surprised that that the Panthers did not just allow that to go into the end zone.
Yeah, but I mean they came out to the same place anyway. So
I think it will be the 25.
When the touchback happened on the first drive, it was the 20.
Was it to 20? Okay.
3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Khalil Johnson lining up on Scotty's right. Scotty in the shotgun, motioning the wide receiver. Snap. Hands it off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson going to get stuffed in the backfield for a loss of like half a yard. And that's the difference between Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson and Luke Janik. Maybe Luke Janik breaks a tackle there and gets out of the backfield. Yeah. Khalil Johnson just not that type of running back. Yeah,
Khalil Johnson needs to bounce and, bob and weave essentially to get out of the backfield.
Scotty in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Snap. Screen pass to T. Mars McCollum. He's going to take it. He's going to run, and he's got a lane. And he got tripped up, and he got taken down at the 35-yard line. Enough for a count for his first down, however.
But it looked like if it wasn't for him getting tripped up, he could have taken that one to the house.
And he hit the boosters. As soon as he saw that lane, he hit the Jets. And that's a good play call. I like that play call on that second down right there. 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Khalil Johnson lining up on Scotty's left, the far side. Motioning the tight end over to the near side. He's going to sit. Khalil Johnson fumbles! And it's on the ground. I can't see who came up with it. St. James motioning. I can't tell who's got it on the bottom of the pile. No signal from the officials yet. And
they're still trying to figure it out.
And St. James has it. No official. Yep, St. James has it. And that's not how you want to start the half.
Not at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Khalil Johnson just fumbled the snap or fumbled the
and now
there.
St. James starts on offense in Carolina Forest territory, and they can cut this lead down to 1 possession.
St. James in the shotgun from the 35-yard line. 3 on the far side. No wide receivers on the near side. Running back on the far side as well. Play action, and it's going to be a read option, and he's going to run. He's going to get the corner. He's got a lot of room to run, and that's going to be a touchdown for St. James. What?
And now
is
the
happening?
Defense is falling apart, and
yeah,
this reminds me of the opposite of what happened in the Sockasty game.
It really does. It's Sockasty started off kind of hot, and then Carolina Forest kind of came back, and then they kind of drew even, and then went back and forth and back and forth. Now Carolina Forest has to collect and just find some type of rhythm.
They have to get the momentum back because all of the momentum is squarely in the hands of St. James.
And Tyler Woodruff with the extra point good, and you can hear the crowd getting into it. You can hear you can see the sidelines getting into it.
Looking at it before the at pregame, it didn't look like there was a ton of fans here. But yeah, this place is packed on the home side. And yeah, this has, the crowd coming into the second half was dead because of the score. But now this place has suddenly come alive, and that's not a good sign for the Panthers either.
No, and that is 2 scores in a little over 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
No.
And even on a drive that had a turnover, we talked about the flawlessness of the offense that had been so far. No turnovers, and both sides were playing well for both sides of the ball for Carolina Forest, and now it's just not feeling the same way. Now St. James, I feel like a broken record. St. James off to kick it away again, and the ball fell off the tee. And we will set it right back up and try again. But it's just one of those things where Carolina Forest had all the momentum. And this feels like the Sockasty game for St. James. The comeback in the second half, and now they got the momentum, and they could definitely come back and win this game.
I'm drawing a blank. Did the Panthers receive the kickoff in the second half?
Yes.
So this is the 3rd time St. James has kicked it off in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And that'll be a touchback, and that's kind of the leg that we saw from J.J. Chaddick in pregame that he hasn't really been able to show off.
Yeah.
And no, Carolina Forest got the ball to start the first half.
You're right.
That's my fault.
Okay. So that was the second time they kicked off in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And even more impressive, 2 touchdowns on 4 plays for the offense. That's not what you want. And offense back on the field now, and now you got to get a score here. There's no differentiating about it that you got to get a score here. 2 on the far side, tight ends on either side, Khalil Johnson on the near side. Scotty in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, hands it off to Johnson. No, he's going to keep it. Scotty's going to not get taken down. He's going to keep fighting for extra yardage, and he's going to get down right at the 27. A gain of around 8, and that is a great run for Scotty. 28. He's going to get down to the 28. He's going to get taken down for 2nd and 2, and that's a great read option by Scotty Saylor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been set up by the running game that we've seen so far.
Yeah, we talked about it during the halftime show that Scott Saylor has been able to get a lot of yards on the ground because of the read option game.
2 on the far side, Scotty in the shotgun. Khalil Johnson on the near side. And the snap. Hands off to Khalil Johnson. Johnson's going to get a gain of 3, and they're going to give it to him. The forward progress they gave him was just enough for the first down. Down at the 31, 1st and 10 Carolina Forest, and that's just not 3 yards in a cloud of dust football, but dang close to it.
He just stayed behind the offensive line and just hit that little body, just sneaking his way behind those big boys in front of him.
And now 2 wide on the far side. Khalil Johnson on the far side as well. Shotgun for Scotty Saylor. He's going to take a snap. He's going to play action to Khalil Johnson. He's going to find Nathan Schusler. He's got the 1st and more. He's going to get down. Oh, he fumbled out of bounds.
That was a lucky break for the Panthers. And like I mentioned during the halftime show, Nathan Schusler right there making a big play in the receiving game.
Right at the 50. Who's taking it? Me?
I'll take it since it's moving towards this way. I'll take it from here. So it'll be shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Actually, 2 wide on the near side, along with the tight end. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a hole, and he will get about 8. But there is a flag on the play.
And you got to imagine it's going to be holding. Unless it's offsides, because that flag came out really quick. Nope.
It's going to be illegal motion on the Panthers, so that'll push him back.
Hey,
you get it.
I get it again. Back to me. They're going to bring the ball to the that's going to be over. It's going to be over the 50.
Yeah.
But it's going to be
it'll be the 45, I believe. Yeah.
It is the 45. So now, if you're the Panthers, you gotta throw the ball, and I like the flat route to Nathan Schusler again. I like that type of play.
Or another slant route.
Or a slant route. Or T. Mars McCollum has been in one-on-one coverage all game. I say you let T. Mars McCollum use his speed, and you let him go
go on a go route.
Go on a go route and let him just make a play out in space. 2 on the near side. Tight ends on either side of the line. Khalil Johnson in the backfield. Panthers.
Have both Schusler and McCollum on the near side. Schusler rather in the slot.
And they're not going to get this play off. It's going to be a delay of game.
And
yeah.
And we talked about it. I wonder yes, you lose the 5 yards. But I think that was a smart call by Mark Morris not calling
to save the timeout.
To save the timeout. With how this game is going right now.
Right. 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Khalil Johnson on the near side as well. Scotty takes the snap. Throws it a screen pass to T. Mars McCollum. He's going to be out in space. He's going to make a guy miss, sort of. Now he's going to get wrapped up at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4.
I thought he got to the 45 there,
I thought he did too. They're going to mark him just a yard shorter than that. So, yeah, that's a gain of 4 there. And not quite the play that I was thinking of, because I would rather have him I don't want the wide receivers blocking him blocking them out in space.
Plus, I don't like screen passes on first and longs.
Long, yeah.
Or any down and long.
Right. 3 wide on the far side, 1 on the near side. Scotty, shotgun, takes a snap. Screen pass. Owen Hall, he's going to get it, and he's going to get it down to the 45-yard line. And that's going to be in plus territory for the Carolina Forest Panthers, so I'll hand it off to you.
Yep, Panthers get a big gain there, and it'll now be 3rd and 6. Ball on the 46-yard line of St. James.
And way to turn that 1st and 20 into 3rd and manageable.
Exactly. And with how the Panthers play, it's 4 down. It's always 4 down territory for them. So it'll be 3rd and 6. The St. James fans are getting loud here, stomping their feet, trying to get this defense going. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Sailor, speed option. He'll keep it himself. He'll get the first down, and he'll bowl a defender over as he gets out of bounds right by the first down marker. It will be enough for a first down.
There's a flag down at the end of that play.
Ooh,
I don't know what it would be for.
Maybe a late hit?
Maybe. I can't.
The
refs are conferring.
They're going to confer.
If this is on St. James for a late hit, that's huge for Carolina Forest. But I don't think they would do that for a QB. I'm going to be honest with you. Personal foul on St. James.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul on St. James, so that'll push the Panthers up even further.
And that's going to be toward after the end of the run. So that's huge for Carolina Forest because now they're going to have to reset the play clock. The play clock's at 5. There you go. Late hit out of bounds. They got the.
I was just gonna say I like how they actually have the ref mic'd up here. I like it.
How does St. James have the worst football team in the past?
Yet
6
has
years
the best stadium
stadium
other than Sumter.
Right.
Well, not so much press box, but
yeah.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson, and Johnson will get a gain of about 5. That'll set up 2nd and 6. They'll say you got 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4, ball on the 15-yard line.
And this is huge. You have to score here.
Yeah.
Just to match St. James right now.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Sailor is still in the game. He loses the ball for a second, but is able to recover it and is able to get a yard.
I think he lost his foot. Oh, there's a flag at the end. But he lost his footing there. He didn't lose the heat.
Oh, okay. He just tripped on the turf.
Unsportsmanlike on St. James.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's
massive.
That helps the Panthers out a lot because now that pushes them even further. I believe that will give them a 1st and goal.
It should. And
the refs are conferring.
I don't know.
We'll wait to see. We'll wait to hear the call.
Yeah, they're going to move them up. And that's, instead of 3rd and 6, it's now 1st and goal from the, 4? No. The
6-yard line looks like.
And so that's a huge momentum shift. And then that's just the emotion of the game. For both sides coming into it.
Especially St. James with what they're fighting for tonight.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side.
Team wants to call him on a slant.
Sailor takes a snap, hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson gets ripped down in the backfield. That is number 47. Number 47, that is David Blanton, who came in from the defensive end position to make that tackle for a loss. And it's now 3rd and...
It would be 2nd and goal from the 10.
2nd and goal from the 10.
And this is where I would throw the T. Mars McCollum slant, or the T. Mars McCollum either slant or the fade out to the outside, because you have 2 downs to run the ball if you really want to, if you're Coach Mark Morris.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Sailor takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson tries to find a lane. He does and gets a gain of about 5. So it'll now be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
And I really just you got to take a shot here.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, but you have to take into consideration this is 4. It's always 4-down territory, but you've got those 4 downs.
And I don't understand why they didn't go for a shot there, because you have two more downs to go get the touchdown on the ground if you really want to, if you're Coach Mark Morris.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side once again. Sailor takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will be crushed at the line. Tried to get through the gap, but no holes for him. And it'll be 4th and goal from the 2.
This
could
huge.
be the play of the game right here.
This is the play of the game so far, at least.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's always like 7 plays.
Yeah.
In the game.
Oh yeah. But this is one of the most important plays of the game thus far.
Right. And this is gonna be huge for Carolina Force. If they can get this is gonna be huge. They're gonna mark him down at the 4. He only got a gain of 1 there. The ball. I was about to say the ball did not look like he was at the 2. They're a little bit farther back than that, but. Either way, this is big.
It'll be 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snap, speed option. Sailor keeps him, actually pitches it to Johnson, and Johnson gets close.
Touchdown!
And they will call the touchdown.
What?
Khalil Johnson with the run in via the speed option, and it is now 27-14.
Okay. It might not be a gutsy play call in terms of where they ran it and that type of thing, but with how well the inside run has worked so far, it is a gutsy play call.
And not just that. With what has happened in the past on those plays with Khalil Johnson, that was a very gutsy play by Scott Sailor to pitch it out to him, because that looked very reminiscent to some of the plays against Sumter where he fumbled the ball.
Right.
As the extra point is up and good, and that'll extend the lead back out to 14. 28-14 with 3 minutes and change left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls is Myrtle Beach's first Acai restaurant. Costa Bowls is a fruit bowl restaurant that also serves pitaya bowls, makes smoothies, hot oatmeal bowls, and parfaits. Costa Bowls. Eat something fresh and healthy on the go. Costa Bowls always serves fresh and healthy food that is happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls. Always fresh.
Panthers defense now has to come up big and keep this momentum on their side, as the offense answered and got some points back, extended the lead back out to 14. But now the defense has to get back to the way they were playing to start off this game. 3 minutes and change left to go in the third quarter.
And
as the
squib kick there, and they're just going to fall on the 35-yard line.
So they'll fall on it at the 35, so that's where St. James will take over on offense.
And like I said, the defense has had time to settle down now, and now they need to get a stop and get this momentum fully back in Carolina Forest's favor.
So surprising, St. James actually going into a huddle. That's a rarity.
Yeah.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. The snap, hands it off, and the gap opened a tiny bit for a second for Washington, but he's only able to get back to the line, maybe a gain of half a yard. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's great by the Carolina Forest defense there to close that gap. And that was, going back to what we saw in the first half, not a big run given up by Carolina Forest.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. The snap, fake handoff, McMenamin looking, getting some pressure and throws it, and it's caught. Still on his feet, getting close to the first down marker.
And that they're going to give it to him. And that's going to be a first down.
That is Ben Sand who makes the catch.
And there was 2 Panthers in the area, and neither of them could bring him down. And it should have been a gain of 1 or 2 instead of a gain of 11, and that got St. James the first down and kept this momentum going on this drive. St. James from the 46 now.
So St. James, 1st and 10, ball on the 46-yard line. Shotgun set, trips to the near side. Snap, rolling out to his right, looking, getting some pressure and getting sacked.
By number 21 there, he got in the backfield really quick and was able to take him down for a loss of around 7.
That is Hayden Glazer who makes the tackle.
And that's one of those names that we didn't call at the beginning of the season, but towards the back half of the season, he's emerged.
The defense as compared to the depth chart I was given at the beginning of the season, has seemed to change entirely
a lot
this season.
Sammy Atlassi, another name that we mentioned a lot towards the end of the season. And those two players have made a bunch of big plays.
They'll go pistol, 3 wide on the far side. Snap, speed option, and there's a whistle blown. Looks like there's going to be a false start. Waiting on the official confirmation.
Offside.
Oh, no, encroachment.
That's not good if you're Carolina Forest because you had him at 2nd and 17, and now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's still 2nd and long, but defense, those 5 yards could be huge.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Motion, they'll go with the jet sweep. Hands it off to Williams, and he will get stopped after a gain of maybe 2.
They're gonna give him 1 there. That was really well read, and we saw a couple. We saw the flea flicker off of the jet sweep, and way to keep your eyes disciplined on the ball, and that's how this Carolina Forest defense needs to play the rest of this game.
Yeah, and that shows that they're growing and maturing.
Right.
So it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, rolling out to his right, throwing near side, and almost picked off, but it tipped into Sant's hands, and it'll be a first down for St. James. It looked like
Hayden Glazier.
Yeah.
Hayden Glazier that was a really good read by Hayden there, and got a hand on it, and if he catches that, it's a pick six.
But it just tips off of the edge of his fingers and right into Ben Sant's hands. And now St. James is in Carolina Forest territory.
3 wide on the far side, pistol set, speed option. He's going to keep himself. He's going to get down, and he's going to get down for a gain of 7. Joey McMiniman going down for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 now from the Carolina Forest 33-yard line. And defense a little bit on their toes maybe after the near stop on defense. It's like at some point you got to control some emotion here if you're Carolina Forest. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Shotgun set here, and they got the fullback in as well. So that's good. Oh, then that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. So they were setting up just to see what Carolina Forest was going to be in, and this is a big drive for Carolina Forest.
Yeah. So we head to the 4th quarter. Before we take a break, real quick, update on the Lexington-Chapin game. Lexington up 17-9 on Chapin. So we may get our wish. As long as this game stays as is, and that game stays as it's Carolina Forest against Chapin at home next week. So we'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest football action.
There's a new breakfast in town. Our new Bo's Chicken Biscuit isn't just good. With a scratch-made, fluffy buttermilk biscuit and bold, crunchy, hand-breaded fried chicken, it's convert to a morning person good. Just found your new go-to good. Capital G-O-O-D good. Because our breakfast is the kind of breakfast that eats other breakfast for breakfast good. Bo's Chicken Biscuit. It's good. It's Bo time.
Welcome back as it is 28-14. Panthers in the lead. We start the 4th and final quarter. Panthers trying to secure home field advantage in the playoffs, at least for the first round. Right here, shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They go with the fake jet sweep and getting out into open space and heading all the way into the end zone for a touchdown is Chase Washington. 1 play on the start of the 4th quarter, and just like that, St. James cuts the deficit down to 1 possession once again.
And that's kind of what we've seen all night from St. James so far.
Well, that's basically what we saw at the beginning of the 3rd quarter,
right.
But Carolina Forest got the momentum back at the end.
Right.
As long as the offense continues to play the way they have been, they should be okay.
Yes.
But the defense is starting to fall apart a little bit as the extra point is up and good.
And at this point, it's a shootout because you have to stay one or two
possession ahead.
Yeah. And if they don't, depending on how long the 2 drives leading up take, that could be a game-winning drive again for Scotty Saylor and Carolina Forest, depending on time and that type of thing.
Yeah, like we talked about before, this does remind me a lot of the Sockesty game where it looked like at this point in the game, it looked like Panthers have it in control, but you don't
ever know.
So Panthers will get the ball back.
And the punters actually, the place kicker for the extra point and the kicker for the kickoff is it's the punter instead of the placeholder, which I mean it is what it doesn't.
Well, you do see that sometimes,
but it's pretty rare that happens.
Yeah,
and it's just an oddity in the game. Either way, this is a big possession for Carolina Forest.
Yes, it is.
And we are off, and that's going to be a kick, and it's going to be.
They're just going to let that go into the end zone. So the Panthers will take over at the 20.
This is a big game big game. Well, big game.
Well, yes, it's a big game, but the big possession.
Big possession.
Yes.
You really just got to.
You just got to take it one play at a time.
You got to take it one play at a time, but I want to see them go deep to T. Martins McCollum on this first down.
Or at least the slant route.
At least a slant route. Do something because T. Martins McCollum has been pretty explosive in the offense so far.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. And Bryson Johnson out there in the running back position. They'll hand it off to Bryson Johnson. He will get taken down for a loss of 1. And I wonder, because we have yet to see Luke Janik on the field on offense.
Wait, did they? St. James? No, it's
no.
Okay, they're saying St. James was signaling for ball, but it's Carolina Forest ball.
Yeah, no, he was clearly down before he lost possession.
I couldn't tell what. I don't know. It was after the play. Either way, that's very interesting that Khalil Johnson and that Bryson Johnson's in and Khalil Johnson is not.
Yeah. Well, but what I think it means is that they are keeping Luke Janik out of the game, and now it's Khalil and Bryson Johnson as the 2 running backs. Shotgun set 3 wide on the far side. A screen pass is caught and getting taken down after a gain of about 5.
I was getting. Now they're going to mark him down a lot farther than that. They're going to give him a gain of 8 there.
Oh, okay. I thought he only got 5, but they will give Owen
Hall. Actually, that's going to be a 9. He got all the way down to the.
They'll give him 9 yards on that pass. So Owen Hall gets the Panthers a 3rd and inches. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Actually, 3 wide on the near side. The crowd gets loud for St. James.
Nathan Schuster's wide open on the slot.
Moving from near side to far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson will just get enough for the first down. Bryson Johnson, that is.
You just and I know Scotty isn't that advanced in that high school. No QB really is to call an audible, but you have to realize that the slot was wide. Nathan Schuster had no one ahead of him forever. Mm-hmm. He could have just lofted it up, and Nathan Schuster would have had a touchdown. At some point, you have to know that, and you have to notice that if you're Coach Mark Morris, you have to know that pre-snap and then give him the call.
Or allow him to audible.
Right.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. 1st and 10. Snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson gets stuffed at the line. I believe they may mark him down behind the line. They'll say he just got... Oh, no, they'll actually say he gave him a yard.
And he's just not as explosive as...
No, as Luke Janik or Khalil
Johnson. And that's why I say you get T. Martins McCollum on a 1-on-1 or Nathan Schuster out in 1-on-1. And there's... Okay, right now they have 2 on the near side.
What's interesting, too, is that the other slot receiver is Hayden Kine, who's the tight end.
Right.
So they're mostly using him as a decoy and then moving him into the H-back position.
Right. But right now they have on the near side right now they have Nathan Schuster and T. Martins McCollum. And there is 9 in the box right now and they're going to take a timeout for Carolina Forest. But
wow. So some it looked like there was some miscommunication there between Saylor and Coach Mark Morris.
Well, maybe because Coach Mark Morris is noticing the same thing I'm noticing and trying to relay that to Scotty, but I mean, with only 25 seconds per play, you can't really do that.
You can't do it as much.
And they're stacking 9 in the box, which means they have two corners basically just playing the entirety of the field.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be an open wide receiver if you have more than 2. So you have to notice that at some point if you're Coach Mark Morris, and I'm hoping that's what he's noticing so far, or that's why he called
the timeout and says, hey,
this is what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
If this is there, then do this. If it's not, then do this.
Yeah.
Because
that's the type of offense. I know it's a lot harder in high school. Quarterbacks aren't as, ready for that, as experienced. But the Peyton Manning type offense where you give your quarterback 2 or 3 plays and based on the defense is what they run.
Right. And if you're Scotty, you go out there with one play that you should tell our offense, and then you look to Coach Mark Morris and they go Omaha, and then you change the play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that type of thing. And it's the same exact formation, except Hayden Cotton is now in the slot for Carolina Forest.
Well, he's been in the slot.
Right. And now they finally motioned a person over there for St. James.
So shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. They motion Cotton to the H-back position, and once again they hand it off to Bryson Johnson, and again he gets stopped, this time in the backfield for a loss of 1, so it's now 3rd and 9. And yeah, they need to get. This reminds me of the Sumter game where you just
they're just not throwing the ball. And
you need to let Scott
Scotty
Saylor just go at it.
Especially on 3rd down when you know you have maybe you punt from here just because of the field position.
Yeah, probably.
But still, you have to go deep somehow.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side.
Motion
for Johnson. They'll go with the speed option. They'll pitch it out to Khalil Johnson, but he gets stuffed in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. And yeah, this is looking like the Sumter game, and that's not a good sign for the Panthers when you're only up by a possession.
Right, and you've got to go deep, and I don't know why they're not. And JJ, so now we know.
Yeah, now we know that something is not fully right with Luke Janik because JJ Chaddock is out there to punt instead of Janik. And hopefully it's just a matter, like I was talking about, as
JJ's going to kick it and takes a good Carolina Forest bounce down to the 30. It's going to keep rolling down to the 37-yard line. And this is a big play. And obviously injuries are playing a factor because we don't have Luke Janik and Khalil Johnson's in and out of the running back spot. But it still feels like we should be able to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
And with 8:09 to go, you have to just almost play ball control, but when you can't run the ball, it's really hard to run that offense.
You can't run out the clock if you can't get first down.
Right. St. James on offense now at the Carolina Forest 37 now. Two on the far side, 1 on the near side. Fullback motioning in the middle. Play action. Screen pass out to the outside. And he's going to get a gain of about 5. And number 2, Justice Williams out on the wide receiver screen. And that was a good play call. And Carolina Force just has to know because that's one of the few plays that they've ran over and over and over again. And St. James lining in the huddle again.
And I wonder if St. James is knowing that, hey, we have control. We can run out the clock a little bit at this point.
Pitch play out to the outside. He's going to get stuffed back to almost the original line of scrimmage, about a 4-yard loss. And that was Chase Washington on the pitch, and he just wasn't able to get there. And
good read and reaction by the Panther defensive, the linebacker core.
Right. And this is big. 3rd and 9, you have a chance to get off the field because of how conservative St. James has been in this game. And maybe they change it up because it's the situation. But with 7 minutes to go, if they don't get it here, you think they would punt. 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Snap, rolling to his right. He's going to take it. He's going to roll out to himself. He's going to scramble. He's going to get just short. He's going to be down just short, a yard to go on 4th and 1. Right at the 46-yard line.
And now if you're St. James, because they have punted it before, they're not quite as aggressive as Carolina Forest, but you'd have to imagine that they go for it here.
Right. And I don't see the punt team out. The Joey McMiniman is back in, so they're going for this here on 4th and 2 from the 46. This is the biggest play of the game. Joey McMiniman in the shotgun. Shotgun pistol formation with the fullback in the game. He's going to run right behind the fullback, and he's going to be...
I don't think he got it. That final...
I can't. The refs, they're going to come. I have a feeling they're going to come out and measure this.
Yeah. That final push that he had on that play, it looked like he got just enough.
And they're conferring, and it looks like they're going to... I
call it out.
They're
trying to look at it from a distance. I don't get why they don't call. They are finally going to bring the chains out.
They're still looking at.
They're bringing the chains out.
Yeah, they're bringing the chains out.
Yeah.
This is big.
This is a very big spot right here.
And Justice Williams is standing right where the ball is. Thanks, man. We'll see
We'll just see the
reaction.
The ref make their indication.
And Carolina Forest is going to have the first down.
They got it just by mere inches.
Wow.
And that could be the turning point of this game.
Wow. That is huge.
And the St. James fans are not happy with that spot.
Wow. It was very close.
Yes,
and
it was.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it was very close. Carolina Forest getting the ball in plus territory now.
Yeah.
And from the 46-yard line right here, or from the 47-yard line here, Khalil Johnson back in the game. Yeah, and you feel more confident being able to run out the clock with Khalil Johnson.
Yes. And you have a little under 6 minutes left to go in the game. 2
on the far side. Nobody on the near side. Khalil Johnson in the backfield. Shotgun set. Scotty going to take the snap. He's going to fake it. He's going to read option with Scotty's going to keep it. And he's going to get a gain of about 2. And, I mean, that's not a bad play call.
No,
no.
It's not quite the run that he was getting before, but keep the defense on their toes.
Right. This will be 2nd and 8 from the 46-yard line. And they're going to like keeping the clock moving.
Yeah.
And after this play, it'll be right under 5 minutes to go. And that's kind of where you want to keep getting first downs and running time off the clock. And
just let the play clock run down to its minimum.
Shotgun snap. He's going to take it. He's going to hand it off to Khalil Johnson. Johnson's going to get a gain of about a yard right at the 45-yard line. And that's...
I'm kind of confused why Scott didn't let the play clock run down further.
So I have a feeling it's because he was calling for it sooner than they actually snapped it, but it's not miscommunication. It's just them not being as efficient as you would normally expect from a college or NFL level offense. That you don't want to get a delay of game because you're snapping it right at 1.
True.
2 wide receivers on the far side. No one on the near side. Khalil Johnson to Scotty's right. Shotgun set. Snap. Play action. Looking deep. No, he's going to be right at Nathan Schuessler, right at the first down markers, and he's going to get it.
A great out route by Nathan Schuessler. And what was good about it, too, he broke right at the first down marker.
Yes. And I said going deep because T. Mars McCollum was going deep, and Scotty pump faked that deep pass and then hits Nathan Schuessler on the out route right at the first down marker. And that's going to be huge. He did go out of bounds, so clock stops, 4:25 remaining. But 1st and 10 from the 30, or from the 34, it looks like. 2 on the near side, none on the far side. Khalil Johnson to Scotty's left. Motion, tight end. Snap. Handoff to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson's going to break through a hole, and he's going to get a gain of about... Oh, that was a big hit out of bounds, but he's going to get a gain of about 6.
And I was going to say prior to that play, I wonder if that good out route and the way that Scott has been passing the ball today makes Coach Morris throw the ball a little more, but apparently not.
Apparently not. And, excuse me, that's going to be a gain of about 3 there, so they gave him a pretty bad spot in my opinion. It looked like he was a lot farther than he was. Either way, they keep going in this formation, 2 on the near side, 2 tight ends on either side, and then Khalil Johnson just running right behind him. And I like that. I like the how they've been running in this set. Snap by Scotty. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to get met in the backfield for a loss of 1. Third and 8 now. And
this is why you need to start running the play action and run the read option, is because the St. James defense is just lining up, engage 8, sitting there ready, knowing exactly what's coming.
And someone took a timeout. I can't tell who it was.
I think
it's St. James.
Yeah.
I would assume it. Yes, it is St. James because they hadn't taken a timeout yet. So it is St. James to take the timeout.
So we'll take a timeout with them. We'll come right back in just a little bit. 3:41 left to go in the game. 28-21, Panthers in the lead.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We are back for Carolina Forest football, and 3rd and 7 now from the St. James 31, and 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Khalil Johnson to Scotty's left. T. Mars and Nathan Schuessler are both on the same side in the and it's a fumble snap. Scotty's going to pick it up. He's going to find Nathan Schuessler for a first down and more. He's going to take it all the way down to the 10.
What a job by Scott Saylor on a broken play. And I mean, it just further shows that if Scott Saylor is allowed to throw the ball, he's more of a pocket passer quarterback.
Right.
And I think, like I was saying at halftime, I think Nathan Schuessler could be a good wide receiver.
Right. And that was good wherewithal to know that you have to get the first down and pick it up and not just fall on it.
And not just that, good wherewithal by Schuessler, seeing that he dropped the ball and coming back to make a play.
2 on the far side, none on the near side. Khalil Johnson on the Scotty's left. He's going to take the handoff. He's going to get to the outside. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to break another one. And he's going to get down right near the first down marker. He's going to get right near the 7-yard line, maybe just 7.5 maybe, but right there near the sticks. And that's a great first down run by Khalil Johnson there. And one thing that I've noticed, without Luke Janik, he's ran the ball a lot more efficiently, which maybe it's just a momentum thing for Khalil Johnson.
Yeah.
And Luke Janik not needing as much momentum as just putting him in and running the ball and just calling it a day. Either way, Scotty Saylor going to in the shotgun. Khalil Johnson on his left, 2 on the far side, 2 wide receivers on the far side. Motion tight end into the fullback position. Khalil Johnson going to run up the middle, and he's going to get the first down and they're going to mark him right near the first down marker. The angle I'm looking at this from is a little iffy, and I can't tell if they're going to give it to him or not.
This may be another one that they're either going to have to measure or, just try to eyeball it. Either way, it is very close.
It is very close, and it is 3rd down, and St. James took a timeout. So that gives us a little time, and they're going to mark him just short. It's going to be 3rd and, quarterback sneak type territory there. And 2:30 left on the clock. Like I said, or like we've mentioned, there's no 2-minute warning. So after this play, the clock will stop if they get a first down because they give the time for the chains. But after that, St. James only can stop the clock once. And if they need to manufacture a drive to go down and score a touchdown,
it's going to be
really hard.
Now, granted, like you mentioned, first down, stop the clock.
Right.
So you can – but they haven't really been running a no-huddle offense.
Right, it's been all huddle.
So that makes it harder because you're not able
Yeah.
to just run up to the line as soon as the clock starts. You snap it.
Right, and they did come out and bring the chains out to measure how far it was. It was third and about a foot, and this is a big play because you have to get this first down.
And while we have some time, that the potential game that the Panthers could be playing against just got a lot more interesting. Lexington tied it up. It's all tied, or excuse me, Chapin tied it up. It's all tied up at 17.
Scotty in the shotgun, 2 on the far side. Khalil Johnson takes the handoff, and he's going to get right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a face mask. There's a flag in, and that looked like a rough tackle there, and that my initial instinct, my color commentator skills coming in, that should be a face mask.
Yeah, it looked like he got spun around on that tackle, so.
Personal foul face mask.
Yep.
And on St. James.
That's a big blow for the Sharks.
And that's one of those things where now Carolina Forest, not only could you run out more clock, but you could get a touchdown and ice the game anyway.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's kind of one of those things. You're battling the clock if you're St. James, but you're also battling the score. And that's even kind of more of a detriment, as it'll be first and goal from the 3, and you have to imagine you just go right back to Khalil Johnson. However, Mars McCollum is in the game along with Nathan Schuessler, and they've been a couple of sure hands today, especially Nathan Schuessler on a couple of these broken plays. 2 on the far side and none on the near side. I feel like a broken record saying that over and over and over again. But Sky's going to be in the shotgun. Khalil Johnson to his right. Tight end motion. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to be met in the backfield.
He got blasted in the backfield.
Now, St. James is going to call their final timeout.
Wow.
Right now.
I guess they're trying to conserve some clock, but now the Panthers can run the clock down to, what, about 40 seconds?
40 seconds. So let's do some quick mathematics here.
Okay.
So 25 seconds per play.
Yep.
They're going to run a play here, so that's what? That'll be...
Well,
so the play won't count for the clock because of the timeout.
So it would get them down to a minute 30
on the third down play.
On the third down play, and then down to like a minute.
Right.
Like a minute and 5 seconds.
Right, and that's assuming Carolina Forest doesn't score a touchdown.
Exactly.
Which
would pretty much end the game anyway.
And this will be second and goal from the full 5, right on the 5-yard line. And right here, I'm going to Mars McCollum. Slant or even Nathan Schuessler. I think your prediction was right about Nathan Schuessler and him being maybe wide receiver 1 next year. But again, we haven't seen Anthony Aponte play in a couple weeks, so it all depends.
But I think even over Anthony, I would still put Nathan at 1.
I think Anthony's more like Mars McCollum, where he's a big play threat.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what formation they're in?
Shotgun set 2 wide and the H-back on the near side.
It's kind of been the theme.
Yeah, they've just been using that power formation.
And now both tight ends move to the right side now, the far side. Sky's going to take the snap. Hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's got a wide open hole.
But I think there's a
they're going to they called touchdown. There's no
because everyone seemed to just stop.
It's a touchdown.
That was
okay.
That was weird.
That was the weirdest.
Because I'm guessing the Sharks thought they heard a whistle.
Maybe, but everyone stopped except Khalil Johnson. Khalil
he
Johnson
just walked into the end zone.
And that's gonna, barring anything crazy, we're gonna knock. I'm gonna knock on wood here. But that should pretty much do it. As JJ's gonna kick it, and it is good. That was a line drive right through the uprights, and St. James, no timeouts, 35-21. This should be the game. But, again, we've seen – I mean, just speaking about last week, we've seen crazier things happen.
Exactly. So we'll take a quick break and come right back with the last minute 47. Panthers up by 2 possessions right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Costa Bowls is Myrtle Beach's first Acai restaurant. Costa Bowls is a fruit bowl restaurant that also serves pitaya bowls, makes smoothies, hot oatmeal bowls, and parfaits. Costa Bowls. Eat something fresh and healthy on the go. Costa Bowls always serves fresh and healthy food that is happiness in a bowl. Costa Bowls, always fresh.
And we are back for Carolina Forest football here, and this has been a crazy game. I don't know that you're looking at your Twitter. Has there been an update on Chapman yet?
I just want to say real quick, Ian Guerin's already calling it daggers with the Khalil Johnson touchdown. He's jumping the gun just a little bit more than we are.
And let's talk about Khalil Johnson today. At least 3 touchdowns. I can't remember.
That was his 4th.
That was his 4th. So 4 touchdowns on the day for Khalil Johnson. What a day.
Now, what has also helped is that he's been the sole back essentially for half the game.
And JJ will boot it away on a squib kick, field it at the 37, and that's where he will be taken down. That's where St. James will start. And we were flip-flopping for a while there, and then it's been on this side of the field for a while. St. James, they need a quick score with 0 timeouts. They're in some desperate need of some miracles here.
Well, yeah, Ian Guerin just said, and it all but ends St. James' season, barring a miracle of all football miracles. So you basically took you and him had the same exact thought.
And St. James in the shotgun trips to the near side, one on the far side. And it's going to be a pass. He's going to drop back. Pressure on him. He's going to get the pass off, and it's going to be down at the 43-yard line. And you get to do play-by-play for the first time in a long while.
For the first time in a while, it gets St. James into Carolina Forest territory. They'll have it 1st and 10, ball on the 43-yard line. They are going no huddle to try to conserve clock.
And
they're going to actually spike it. So I guess to be able to now huddle.
But yes,
but you're losing it down.
No,
I agree.
But
I guess at this point it's 4 down territory anyway.
It's 4 down territory anyway, but still you're losing it down that you can potentially get a first down on.
True.
It's just I don't quite understand the spike there. If anything, you just go back to the same play you just did and
just run it again.
Run it again. Either way,
we'll see where they go from here. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. McMenamin, 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field, and it is
incomplete.
Just not able to hang on by Deshaun Faulkner, and Faulkner is down.
And that looked like, what number is Faulkner?
3.
3. It looked like number 2. You might be correct. It's Faulkner. I thought it was number 2. But either way, that was a really good defensive play and just slightly overthrown by St. James. And now that's why I don't understand the spike on second down.
Because now it's
first
3rd
down,
and 10.
And now it's 3rd and 10. And
where you could have essentially ran that play, even if it was an incomplete, it would have been 2nd and 10.
Right. You would have gotten the same, but maybe because it runs more clock. I don't know. It's St. James coaching. I really don't. I'm not a coach either, so I really can't comment on that type of thing. What happened? I'm out.
No, you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, it's just the levels. The levels are a little low on here. As long as you can hear yourself, you're good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I can hear myself. And either way, but as you never want to see a down player.
No,
and
of course not.
It looks like they were stretching him out for a second.
Yeah.
But that's.
But we'll take a quick break and come back. Minute 23 left to go in the game. Panthers up by 2 possessions here on the Carolina Forest Panther. Oh wait, actually, take that back. He'll come. He'll be taken off the field now.
And it's his left leg that he's kind of hobbling on. And that's not something you really want to you don't want to see. You don't want to see Luke Janet go down. You don't want to see remember I'm blinking. Number 3.
It's just on Faulkner.
It was F. I just couldn't Either way, you don't want to see anyone go down. And that's just one of those things where you don't like to see that. especially in a high school football game
Yeah.
when it could be potentially St. James's last game of the season. You just don't want to see that.
Luckily, Faulkner's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. Okay, so that's
he'll
good.
have a few games left in his high school career. They'll go trips to the near side, rolling out, and now finding some open field is McMenamin. He'll get taken down
Did
at
he fumble?
around the 41 or the 36-yard line.
Ball looked like it. There's a pile at the bottom.
They're going to stop the clock because, like you mentioned, the ball popped out at the end. And now they're going to say to run the clock because it is St. James ball still.
And this is going to be officially the game. 4th down for St. James.
4th down. Here we go. 4th down and 4. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap, rolling out to his left.
Wide open.
Throwing to a wide open receiver. Wide open Sant on the far sideline on an out route, and he will get pushed out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. So St. James still alive, but only 49 seconds left to go in the game, down by 2 possessions. It's like Ian Guerin said on Twitter, it's going to take a football miracle for St. James to come back in this one. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Faulkner, 3-step drop, getting some pressure, stepping up in the pocket, now throws it into the back of the end zone, and just incomplete, trying to go to Sant, and he just could not hang on to it, a little too far for him to reach.
And some of the St. James fans right in front of us in the press box kind of like, wait, where's the penalty?
Yeah,
they were arguing pass interference, but it was not catching it.
Yeah, I don't
it was
think.
over his head.
There was no pass interference there.
Either way, St. James with 44 seconds to go. We're assuming it's already the game, but a defensive stop here would end the game definitely.
Especially with St. James not having any timeouts.
Right.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, rolling out to his left, looking, still looking, and now McMenamin will take it himself and step out of bounds after a gain of about 5. Actually, they'll give him 6. So it'll be 3rd and 4 with 37 seconds left to go.
And that's going to, I don't want to say it's game because I said it was game at the end of the Sockesty game when Sockesty scored.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, crap, that's game. But
we thought it was game on the other end.
On the other end.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to come back and bite you in the butt for this. But I want to say it's getting close to that time.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, play action, and McMenamin falls down, and that should just about do it. They'll probably be able to get 1 play off, but with no timeouts, the clock is running. Down to 25 seconds left to go. It's 4th and 11. Shotgun set, 3 wide. They snap it. McMenamin looking far side. Long pass, and it is
dropped.
Incomplete. And that will do it. Panthers get the ball back with 13 seconds left to go. And all they have to do now is just kneel it down. And they will clinch the 2 seed and home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs starting next week.
And right now, let Khalil Johnson take the kneel down. He is the MVP of this game. Janet goes down. We're like, oh, okay, well, we just lost one of the better running backs in the region.
In the state, maybe, I would say.
Yeah, maybe. But you lose one of the best running backs in the state, and then you're like, okay, well, we have to run clock down. Khalil Johnson came in and was just an absolute unit running the ball today.
And the kneel down makes it official. That will end the game. Final score, 35-21. Panthers win it and clinch the number 2 seed from Region 6 5A, clinch a home field advantage for the first round. More than likely, we'll have to go on the road in the second round if they're able to win. See the latest update. It is still tied 17-all with the minute 17 left to go in the game between Lexington and Chapin. So, more than likely, Lexington just punted. So, Chapin has the ball on their own 4 with 1:07 left to go in the game. So, yeah, that game I don't think is going to be over anytime soon.
You got to think safety territory for that. On their own 4 with 1:07.
True.
Yeah,
But now, before we sign off, let's think about this. That's a much tougher game that they just had to play this week.
Right.
And imagine if it goes into overtime.
Right.
That's extra play that they have to do.
And that's a lot of emotion, too.
Exactly. So does that impact them coming? Does that impact the loser, especially because it's going to be the loser? They're going to be coming off of an potentially overtime loss coming to Carolina Forest.
Yeah, that's a lot of the psychological aspect of this game is controlling emotion, and especially coming off a loss like that, you have to bounce back, and that's a week later. You don't get the buffer zone. You don't get all that. You have to play the next week, and you got to turn around and prepare. You don't have time to do everything that you would do normally. That's winner go. The playoffs is winner go home. You don't get another chance.
Exactly. And not to mention, they also have to travel about 2.5 hours.
Right.
So that'll just about wrap it up for us. Once again, final score 35-21. Panthers clinch home field advantage for the first round, clinch the number 2 spot in Region 6-5A. They will host the loser of that game. We will see what happens between Chapin and Lexington. Be sure to follow Lou Bezek from the state on Twitter. He'll give you all the updates. We'll give you an update on Twitter as well at CFHS Panther FBN once we find out the final of that game and who we will be playing against next week in the first round of the SCHSL playoffs. For Preston Payne, I'm Brandon Biskobing saying so long. Once again, final score 35-21. Panthers win it to clinch the number 2 seed in Region 6-5A.